Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Babies with Knives. I'm your hostess, Alice Peng, aka Lala Twiddle on the boards. With me today is my ever-present co-host, Brandon Powers. We're wearing matching shirts.
Howdy, howdy.
And today we're going to be playing Modest Medusa with the creators, Jake Richmond. Please say hello.
Oh, hi. Hello.
And Nick Smith.
Hello.
And this game is a development that stemmed off of their original project, which was Modest Medusa, a comic book designed to be reaching out to kids, about age 13 or so. And the comic book's premise is about a Medusa finding her way from a Narnians crossed with Final Fantasy type world into our world via a toilet portal, which she ends up in a family full of geeks that adopt her, and so the kids and the family all teach her about junk food and pizza and D&D. So in the RPG we'll be playing, which is also going to be very family friendly, and you can play with your kids, we will be playing real world children that are teleported via some sort of portal to the Medusa's world, which is going to be a Final Fantasy meets Medusa kind of world. It is called the magical land of Yeld. One of us can even be a doggy. In the real world, the doggy can't talk. In the magical land of Yeld, the doggy talks. Brandon will be playing the doggy. So, Nick, Jake, do you have anything to add, or should we get started?
Yeah, actually, I just want to point out real quick that while the name of our comic series is Modest Medusa, the name of the game is actually The Magical Land of Yeld.
I should have been a little more clear on that, but thank you for bringing that up.
And I only wanted to mention that because a lot of people come up to us at conventions and say, hey, do you got that Modest Medusa game? So we're trying to get the name out there a little more.
Awesome. I'll try and make sure that I am extra clear when I say it. One last thing, though. One thing we wanted to talk about. This actual play is going to be a demonstration so that people can understand how the play works. But this is going to be to promote a upcoming Kickstarter for you guys, correct? So why don't you tell us a little bit about that Kickstarter real quick?
Sure. We are doing a Kickstarter, Nick and I. Nick is my brother, by the way. We're doing a Kickstarter for a brand new starter set for the Magical Land of Yeld. We released the game earlier this year in a large 240-page full-color book, but this starter set will be a box set that includes smaller rule books as well as a playmat, some card standees, and other stuff. It's everything that 4 players need to sit down and play the game together and discover the Magical Land of Yeld for themselves. It's specifically geared for younger players, so we want it to be something that kids as young as 6 can really pick up and start playing with the help of their parents or older friends.
Fantastic. Well,
that is awesome. I think you'll have backers with Alice and I because at the moment I think that both of us are big fans of what we've seen so far, and definitely if you guys still have some of those beautiful hardback books that we saw at a convention a little while ago, put one of those aside because I think next time we meet up with you guys, we're gonna give you some money and get a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And possibly even get a couple books because we do have a couple friends that we might send it to as well. So, Nick, do you want to start GMing for us?
Oh, I most certainly can.
Awesome.
So yeah, let's go ahead and start here. You being Sassafras, Ella, and Mary have been trapped in Yeld for a couple months now. Since your adventures as mermaid hunters, you've had to take on heroic jobs and fight new types of monsters. You've collected treasure. Even your friends Preston and Cindy have been with you. But for the last couple of weeks, you've been chasing down the last mermaid you weren't able to hunt down in your previous adventures. Preston and Cindy went ahead to try and find them, but you've lost contact with them, and now you're in search of both that mermaid and your lost friends. So let's go ahead and just go over your names and what heroic jobs you ended up taking.
Sure.
Whoever wants to start.
Okay.
Sure, I'll go ahead. I am Sassafras the dog. I am Ella's dog, though she just calls me Sassy for short, so that's the name that has stuck. The name was picked because I used to have an Airedale Terrier named Sassafras, and she was a wonderful dog. I ended up going with Freelancer because I kind of wanted to do a character that was a little bit of a tank, because the the text that you guys give the dog as a reminder is, I'll always protect my friends. And so that was kind of the approach that I had, and I wanted to be somebody who was a little strong, a little tough, and could protect people. And you guys presented me with three different options. One was Oathbreaker, one was Witch Hunter, and one was Freelancer. I was like, well, I don't want to break my oath. I'm a good dog, I am. And hunting witches doesn't sound like the best, so I think I'll go with Freelancer. I'll be honest, I was so tempted to be a shepherd, because then I'd be a dog with a pack of sheep with me.
That's right.
I was so close to that. I ended up taking an extra die of bite, a die of tease, a die of beg, and looter for the bonus special dice that you guys passed us.
Excellent.
So for me,
all right,
I'm playing Ella. I am the baby, and I decided to go and upgrade the baby from a previous play, which will be linked in the description, to the job Witch. I didn't want to take the other casters because I didn't want to be a healer, and I also didn't want to be using evil magic for the other options. But given that in our first actual play demo, I did get to play. I get to play with magic. I thought that this would be a great advancement. For the bonus dice that you guys gave us, I took additional points in Cook. I changed during the rebuild. I changed from Hungry to Cook, and I took with my Witch. I took Fireproof and Fireproof from that class, and for the class choosing one, I took Voodoo Doll for one of my bonus dice and Good Plan for the other bonus die.
Excellent. Okay.
And did she get any spells for being in the Witch, or is that something that you just get through loot and such?
Actually,
so it's a little different. Yeah. I don't know if you want to explain that, Jake.
Yeah, sure. The Witch is... Sorry, I dropped something. The Witch uses magic in a different way. Instead of traditional spells, the Witch has curses that they inflict through combat. However, later on in the game, the Witch can learn some red magic spells as well. But for now, you'll be using your curses instead.
Cool. I do have all my curses listed.
Yeah, so you've got your curses. It's also, conceptually, stuff like Voodoo Doll works in a magical fashion. And one of the important parts is to avoid how, with other casters, you can resist their magic really easily with things like Mage Proof or having really high smart, but you can't do that against the Witch.
Awesome.
As long as the Witch hits you, she can just curse you. So it's a way of avoiding, allowing the Witch to be so easily defeated because you don't really have all of this power like the other casters would. It's so easy as a black mage to sit there and be like, oh, I roll, 30. And, people can't really resist spells at that level. So, yeah, the mechanic is definitely built in more of just a different style of casting.
Awesome. Well, I do have all my curses written down, and there's some fun stuff in it. And I have a lot of smart, so hopefully I'll do decently.
Yeah. Should be fine.
My character is named Mary, and she's a brat. She's kind of a stinky little kid. At 9 years old, I think she's the oldest one of us.
Yep.
Right. Unfortunately, she's just kind of a turd. Her catchphrase is, I better get my way or else, and she sticks to that quite a bit. I chose the Soul Thief job for her because I like the idea that once we all choose our heroic jobs, she realizes that she can hurt people. She gets these little knives, and she realizes that her abilities are all about stabbing people and stealing their power. And she kind of likes that in a very sinister kind of way that's maybe creeping you two out.
Okay.
On the other hand, she also kind of feels a little bad about that. She stabs people, and then she gets all mopey about it and maybe cries a little bit. So she's decided to also start taking some first aid dice. And that'll let her fill a little bit of the healer role as well. So right now, Mary is kind of half stabber, half healer.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll see how that works.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
All right. So a soul thief, a witch, and a freelancer.
Yep.
This is an interesting group. Okay. So you guys have been adventuring along for a couple days now. You guys are in you've hitched a ride in a caravan being hauled along by some Hasatch, which are a type of strange, dumb, smelly animal that people use as beasts of burden here. You've barely seen a horse. You've maybe seen one horse in the months that you've been here, and there aren't really a lot of other animals that people use to get around.
The animal.
So the Hasatches are often the most common.
The name of that just makes me think of like this big hairy mammoth crossed with a camel kind of look.
That's kind of exactly how it looks.
That's funny because the name really just made me think camel crossed with a mammoth, and super hairy.
I mean, there's certainly a strange thing. How would you describe that, Jake, since you've drawn a few of them?
Well, the Hasatch is actually a real thing. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not an actual real animal. It's something we stole from the internet, actually. But what it looks like is kind of like a giant dumb camel with a worm's head.
That's
yeah, I mean, kind of.
It kind of looks like something out of Adventure Time, I guess. I think the one in the book is green, but they're pretty ridiculous looking.
That's funny. And the fact that the image in my head works with it pretty well, it just shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, you've hitched a ride on the caravan, and it's taking you to the city of Madras, where Preston and Cindy had said that they were last investigating, looking for that last mermaid. Mm-hmm. The mermaid's name is Jeannie. You've learned that about her, and she has evaded your capture for months now. And at this point, you're not even hired on anymore. You're just trying to finish the job because she's been making your life difficult. Especially Cindy and Preston. She originally, when Cindy had been captured, they had stolen something very precious to Cindy and still hasn't gotten it back. So it's up to you guys to get that back for her.
Has Cindy told us what that is?
Bag of candy.
All she tells you is that it's something that her mom gave her and that she can't lose it.
Okay.
Bag of candy.
Yeah, I want some of that candy now.
I can't.
It's been 2 months. That candy's no good.
What are you
really?
talking about?
Oh yeah, the
I
berries.
don't know.
The berries are no good because I wrote down everything that I still had from last game. But the berries are no longer any good after the few months. But is my candy still good?
Yes, of course your candy's fine. I'm just absolutely surprised after this many months that you would even have candy left.
That's true.
Well,
Okay, I will drop the candy. I'll drop
The amount of discipline required to hold on to that candy for 2 months is.
I forgot that I had it in my pocket until today.
I mean, I assume we've just been spending every gold coin we can find on candy the entire time we've been here.
That's possible too. But yeah, I got rid of the candy as well then.
So is this the first town or the first city we've been to in Yeld?
This is the first large city you've been to. You've been to a couple of towns at this point. You've met some people.
Okay.
You've made some friends, but this is the first large major city you've been to. It's named Madras. It is a town surrounded by a lake on all sides. It has sort of a moat thing going on. It is huge buildings, like none you've seen in the area so far. A little more modern. You're thinking it kind of looks like something from like the 1700s, 1800s, almost getting a little bit closer to that point.
Okay.
It has paved roads, like cobblestone roads, well put together. Everything's well maintained. The gates are well maintained. It seems bustling and busy, and there seems to be various banners and other sort of festivals sort of things going on. You're not quite sure what it is. You weren't aware of any holidays coming up or anything.
How did we get here? Did we walk or? Oh,
we're
on
in a
the
caravan.
Yeah, you're right.
We're
That's
a
right.
Hasatch caravan. Yep.
Can we ask
Yeah,
the caravan leaders, drivers? Can we ask them about the holiday?
Yeah, you talk to the guy running the whole thing, and he says that Madras and a few other cities around Yeld have a holiday called the Day of the Dead, and in particular places with large populations, once a year for about a week, ghosts start appearing and are able to communicate with the living in a way that they normally can't. And so large celebrations are created during these, week-long special events to have sort of big festivals where ghosts come and join the living, meeting with their loved ones. Living kids dress up as monsters to collect candy. Yeah. Come back from the dead to seek revenge or to right wrongs.
Okay, I was just going to say that immediately freaks Mary out because she has definitely killed a few people over the last few months.
I already have a costume, a witch's costume from my time here, but what I'm going to do is, since they're talking about festival with the costumes, I'm going to take what few coin that I may have right now, and I'm going to go buy myself a mask and some adornments to change up my costume a bit so that I can participate in this properly.
Definitely, yeah. As you guys enter town, it doesn't take long for you to immediately see. There are vendors selling masks and various costumes and all kinds of stuff going on. You see.
Are all these the Mages Are Us? That's the store that we were going to. Mages Are Us.
Yeah. Yeah. You see something of like that. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I definitely need a wizard or costume or something like that because I am now terrified that these ghosts are going to recognize me and want revenge.
So yeah, as you get, there is a very pushy salesman. He has a very humanoid body, but he has like a dog head. Oh. And he comes up to you guys. He's like, "Oh, I'm selling masks. You kids look like you don't have any masks."
I look at him with big brown eyes, and I'm like, I don't have anything. Nothing. I don't have any money to spend on anything, and I'd like to beg.
Oh, you want to beg to him? Okay. So I think that's smart-based?
I believe that is smart-based.
All right. So you're going to be rolling your core smart dice, adding your beg to that. How many ranks in beg do you have there?
I just have one rank in beg. Can I be holding my fetch me stick while I'm doing this?
What is that doing for you?
Well, other people might call it a staff. To me, it's just the stick that I go run after. It makes me smarter.
Okay, yeah, add those.
Is that my broom that you've got as your fetch stick?
No, as a freelancer, I am given 2 weapons. I only have 1 mouth, so I can't use 2 weapons. So I took 1 to fight, and 1 was my fetch me stick. So, and what are we looking for on our D6s in this game again?
So you're just adding totals. So add it all together, and I'm going to add it all together, and whoever gets higher wins. Players will always win ties against the GM.
12, 17, 19.
Oh yeah, you definitely got it. The dog-faced merchant sort of looks at you, and he looks at your puppy dog eyes, and then he gives you puppy dog eyes, and you have a moment together, and then he reaches into his little bag, and he pulls out a mask, and he hands it to the dog. He goes, "Here you go, little pup. I remember what that was like. Difficult times."
I wag my tail. I'm like, thanks. I've got a mask now. I've got a mask. Hey, Ella. Can you put my mask on?
Yeah. I go over and I put his mask on him.
Yeah, you put the mask on. It's a cat mask.
No wonder he was willing to give it away.
I would like to point out, by the way, Nick, as per in character for the last game we played, I was picking berries and I was picking whatever plants were edible. So I do have 3 ranks in cook, and whatever you will allow me to have been picking and cooking, just let me know, because prior to us playing, if it's nothing, we ate it all already, that's fine with me. But just let me know.
You blew 3 dice in cooking? That's awesome.
It is awesome.
I blew a total of 3. I'm a really good cook.
So what we have is during certain challenges, right? You might have a cooking challenge that you have to enter into, and you're going to be adding those dice to smart, and you're going to be able to, potentially succeed at cooking challenges. In addition to that, mechanically, because it's something called a chore. Do we still call them that? I can't
We
remember.
still call them chores.
It's listed as a chore.
Yes, they're still referred to as chores. So chores are something, it's mechanically how it works is that you can do it once per adventure, and you're going to make a cooking roll, and that's going to allow you to make the 4 different types of food that you've previously seen.
Great.
And so, like, mechanically, that's just about, generating food items so you can use them in combat. Otherwise, of course, you can use the cooking die for, challenges that are more cooking specific that have nothing to do with, using that chore mechanic.
Okay. Well, I have 3 dice in Smart and 3 dice in my cooking, so that's 6 dice total. At which point I got a roll of a 20.
Oh, wow.
All right. So we
6
have a
dice.
chart for that.
Yeah, that actually
Right.
allows you to make 18 or better, allows you to create 2 food items of your choice.
Okay.
All right.
So
And in case you don't remember, the items are berry pie, which gives you +1 tough on your next roll, hot sausage for strong, jerky for brave, and sushi for smart.
I'm going to take a sushi, and I'm going to give Brandon, I'm going to give Sassy sausage for tough, right? That's what you said?
Yep. So berry pie is tough.
Oh, berry pie. Okay.
Did I read that wrong? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Hot
going
sausage is strong. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give berry pie for tough to Sassy.
All right.
And how much
So go ahead and
tough
write
is
that down. So how that works is that anytime you're about to make a roll using your tough dice, you can say, I want to eat my food, and you're going to roll an extra die on that single roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is food always just a +1?
Yeah, it's just always, well, there's some unique food items that might give you different effects, but the food that you can make with the basic cooking chore are always those basic 4 that only provide 1 die.
Yeah.
I feel
Gotcha.
bad that I couldn't make a 3rd one for Mary. But
Oh,
Mary's
that's
been
a-
kind of mean lately, so
Yeah, Mary probably stole your last berry pie.
I know.
Speaking of Mary being mean, she is going to put on her most awful spoiled brat face and look right up at that sweet, sweet dog merchant and go, "Hey, where's my free stuff? I want a mask too."
Well, you want to make a roll here?
I do. And Mary is not a very smart person at all, so she's probably going to fail. But that does not mean she's also not going to throw a tantrum.
All right. Let's see what I got here. So we're going to roll some smart against each other.
All right.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, Mary only has 1 smart die, and it only rolled a 2.
Nope. No.
All right. So she
The
just
dog
sticks her
merchant
hand
looks
out
down.
anyway.
The dog merchant grabs your hand and shakes it. He says, "It's really nice to meet you.
Oh,
If you'd like to purchase the mask, you most certainly can. Otherwise, it looks like you're going to have to share with your friend."
I don't want to share. How much are they?
Well, just some coins if you got them.
Mary reaches around in her pockets until she finds the coins that she got from that poor squid man she stabbed to death last week. And she hands them to you. She looks absolutely defeated by this.
The merchant picks up. He's like, "Well, these are a little inky, but I guess these are fine." Goes through them. So yeah, go ahead and mark down that you have. You haven't lost your coin status at all. You still have some coins.
Okay.
So, can I negotiate, because I do have trade on that to get a different price?
Well, I actually was interested in Mr. It's my birthday today, and all my friends forgot to buy me birthday presents, and I know cry is only used for combat, but I'm gonna put on my best crying face and try and smart with him on that. It's my birthday.
All right. Roll
And I
some
can make
smart.
that
That's
true, by
fine.
the way. I've got a magical fairy stone fairy rebirth runestone to change my birthday to today if I need to.
Oh, wow.
You need 3 of them, I think.
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry, maybe I need 3 of them.
Yeah. You need multiples.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do put on my smart face. It's my birthday.
All
My
right.
friends forgot to buy me a birthday present. I got 12.
I got 8. All right, you beat him. Oh, this poor merchant just being abused. You guys walk into town, and you're like, "Let me just grift this poor man."
My friends all forgot
He,
to buy my birthday present.
he falls again for your sob story. He's like, oh, well, I really wanted to feed my family today. We don't get to eat every day, and these masks are the only way I've been making money. But please go ahead and take another mask from me for free. And he hands you a mask as well.
I hand him my sushi in return.
Aww.
Oh, I do.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Your family needs to eat. I don't have much money right now, but I can cook. So I cooked these on the way here. So here you go, and thank you for the mask. You're so nice. And I give him a peck on the cheek.
You see his furry face blush somehow, and he's oh, well, thanks. You kids have fun at the festival.
I hope you like the sushi.
Try not to. Oh, I will. I'll split it with my family.
Yes. Thank you.
My wife and our 7 puppies.
Oh, don't worry. If you just throw it up a little bit, you can eat it again, and it's wonderful.
Oh, don't worry. I know. And he winks at you.
I wasn't trying to make the poor guy not eat, so there's my sushi. I just don't know how much money I have right now, so I'm trying to save a little.
So that's totally okay. So mechanically how this works is there's just generic amounts of money. It's not specified in any way. Oh, okay. You have a coin status, and that goes from none to some coins, lots of coins, or tons of coins.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So when you want to purchase something, every item is going to cost one of those amounts, right? So, for example, you want to buy a mask, it's going to cost you some coins, right? So as the GM, I am determining whether or not that's going to drop your status down or just keep you at the same level.
Okay.
It really depends, right? So, for example, when someone's like, oh, I want to go buy, maybe a food item, or I want to, buy some flowers for somebody. As long as you have some coins, you can pretty much have that. Okay. But other things like, oh, I want to buy this, super fancy weapon, right? That might actually drop your status down.
Awesome. Okay. That makes sense. Well, now that I know.
Yeah.
But I gave him something much more valuable than some coin then. I gave him actual food, that stat food.
Yeah, that's something that's definitely, it has a lot of value there. But yeah, and it really depends on the situation. It depends on what you're buying. It depends on what the GM wants to do. Again, it's meant to be generic, so you're not just sitting there counting coins,
cool.
Right?
Sounds great.
Yeah. So as you guys know that you've entered into the front part of town, you can see that it pushes forward and splits off into several different streets. Everywhere is busy. There's some festivities going around. There's all of these like paper mache skeletons hanging up, and all these little ghost murals that have been drawn on the walls of buildings.
You bring up a very good point about that, the whole paper mache skeletons. I actually want to go around and look for little dolls and paper mache dolls and skeletons and things that represent people. I play with dolls.
Oh. Yeah. There's all kinds of like toys and festivity stuff going on. So there's someone who's making little dolls out of paper mache and out of straw and things like that, handing them out to kids. Lots of activities for small children.
I'm going to see about getting some of them, and especially looking for ones that I don't already have in my collection, because I have a small little collection in my bag, because I have Voodoo Doll as a power.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I'm looking for ones that would be suitable for me to add to my Voodoo Doll repertoire.
Yeah, as you've gone from town to town, you've met a few different people making stuff like that, and you found some suitable stuff. Especially here, you found even 3 or 4 little things that you can add to your collection, no problem.
Fantastic.
It's all for fun and games, so nobody's expecting to charge you for any of it.
Awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and trade my brand new cat mask for a birthday present, since I forgot her birthday, and see if I can get some dolls, since I similarly have trade.
And I think that
any kid who comes up and you actually want that, that's fine. Yeah. We never set birthdays.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah, we're in at this time of year. It's basically getting into fall.
Okay.
So your birthday's somewhere in the fall area.
Sure, that sounds great. Because we never did set birthdays, so I think today being my birthday sounds perfect.
Yeah, that works out.
No, I just figured you were a liar, but I don't know.
No, I'm the baby. I wouldn't lie. I'm not the liar.
You'd
Preston's
probably
the
tell
liar.
me your birthday is in tomorrow, and I'd believe you.
No, the liar didn't play today.
You, in fact, yeah, it is your birthday. So when you're in town, you're there for not too long before you are patted on the back by somebody, and they say, "Oh, excuse me, miss, are you Ella?"
Yeah?
You turn around, you see a younger man. He's a humanoid body, but a rabbit's head, and he's wearing a uniform like he works in some sort of official capacity. And he's got a big messenger bag just stuffed full of letters and different packages. And he reaches in and he goes, "Oh, well, I've got some mail for you."
Oh,
And he hands you a little letter.
thank you.
Has anybody noticed that a human body with a rabbit head is a lot less creepy than a rabbit body with a human head?
Yes.
I mean, I feel like that's always true. No matter what human head you put on, like, no matter what animal it is, you put a human head on it, it's weird.
But
Yeah.
put that same animal head on the human, it's almost never weird for some reason.
I think we just
Yeah,
don't like
it's-
seeing loose human heads.
So I thank him. Thank you, Mister. And I open my letter right there.
Yeah, he tips his hat. He says, "You're very welcome," and he takes off. You open your letter, and it's addressed to you. You open it up, and it says, "Oh, dear Ella, happy birthday. Everyone here at the castle is eager to see your progress through the land and hopes that someday you'll be able to greet us with your princessly presence." And it's signed the Prince Dragul. And so, in addition to that, you're going to go ahead, because it's your birthday, and this happens for everybody's birthday, every year you get one reward die.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and take that reward die.
Game in the system, Alice.
I didn't know. So I'll take my reward die. Okay. I'll figure out where that goes in a minute.
Sure. At the end of the game, you can use that to either buy a special die or make a roll on the treasure table.
Ooh. Okay. Then I'll just write that down.
That's right.
for
That's
later.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did... Mary is very suspicious. How did the prince know it was your birthday? Or how did the male bunny know how to find you?
I don't know, but isn't Prince Dragul the bad guy?
Yeah, he's the bad guy. That's what they told us. He's evil, and he's a vampire, and he's a prince.
I always know how to find her. She smells like Ella. I mean, don't you smell it? She smells like Ella.
She smells
You
like...
smell like bitterness and are going to be a crazy cat lady when you get older.
Hey, that's mean. I'm the mean.
Oh, standing there talking
No,
about
I
the
didn't
letter.
mean it mean. I'm just talking about everybody's smells. I smell myself, and at this point, I'll spin around, smell my butt, and lick it for a little bit.
Thinking about the letter, you all sort of realize that, remembering why you're here is the letter sent by Preston and Cindy saying that they were following the mermaid genie to this town. And that, you hadn't heard from them in a couple of weeks. That's why you're here.
Yeah,
Are we trying to collect a key?
Well, we are searching for these keys so we can unlock the door and go home. Maybe if we can find this mermaid that
So
our
you can
friends...
go home. I'm never going home ever.
I'm going home as soon as I can. Are you kidding? I'm so strong now. I can beat up anybody. I'm going to go home and beat up everybody at school.
Yeah, but if we go home, we're not going to be like this anymore. So I don't want to go home.
We don't know that. We don't know if that's true.
I'm going to stay with Ella. I'm going to be with Ella.
I love you, Sassy,
because
and I
it's
pull Sassy into my arms.
It's her birthday. She
All right.
cuts my windpipe off.
Mary rolls her eyes dramatically and says, all right, let's find our friends.
Okay, let's go.
Maybe we should... And she looks around. She clearly has no idea what to do. Maybe we should have asked that male rabbit if he knows where they are?
Maybe. Excuse me, Mr. Rabbit? Mr. Rabbit? I start running after him.
Yeah, it takes you a minute to get his attention, but he stops for a second. He's jogging in place. He's like, "I really don't have a lot of time, kid. What's up?"
Where? Well, you seem to know how to find everyone, and we're looking for two of our friends, Preston and Cindy. We lost them. Maybe you can tell us where they are, so we can go find them.
You see, he kind of looks up at the sky for a second, and if he's doing math or something in his head, and he goes, "Preston, Cindy, they're not in my jurisdiction right now. I can't send them anything.
Well, how about this mermaid?
But they're nearby."
Oh, okay.
Mermaid.
Yeah, we're looking for this jerk mermaid.
Well, you're gonna have to be more specific. Does the jerk mermaid have a name?
She probably does. I think it's
her name's Jeannie. Jeannie. Like you rub a lamp and you get some wishes.
Jeannie
we want to get wishes out of her.
And she's not from here. She's from somewhere else.
Yeah. Jeannie's in town.
Where in town? Can you help us find her?
What does she smell like?
Whoa. You can't have me do anything illegal like that.
Why
how
is
is
that
that
illegal?
We're just gonna
it's a privacy code. I'd be happy if you guys want to write her a letter. I'd be happy to bring her the letter, but I can't tell you where she is.
Well, but
okay. Could you write her a letter and
you can write her a letter.
Yeah, Ella, why don't you write her a letter? And then we could go.
Yeah.
I take out a crayon and I start writing hi in big letters, like my whole hand holding the crayon. Hi, Jean E. I spell Jeannie as in G.
You're really bad with this. I mean, you should be in 3rd grade and you're still doing it like that.
Do it in cursive. Do cursive.
Okay, I'll do cursive.
Yeah.
I do it in cursive. I don't like this crayon. It doesn't work.
But do some of her letters in bubble letters.
Okay. I start doing these bubble letters, but you're right. I'm 8 years old, so yeah, I can do better than that. So I'm gonna start doing cursive with bubble letters. I'm gonna start doing child calligraphy. Hi, Jeannie, and then I fold it up and I hand it over.
He goes, "All right, that'll be some coins."
I hand over some coins.
Oh, but we don't have any right now.
Oh, you most certainly do. Yeah, he takes some coins. Don't worry about it lowering your status right now. He goes, all right, excellent. I'll make sure that gets to her. I'll try and make it happen today. We'll see.
Oh no!
And he goes, all right, kids, and then he starts jogging along.
Oh, we're gonna have to follow him
at a decent pace. He's not too fast.
All right. Well, let's try to follow him without showing him that we're following him.
Okay.
I have hide and sneak dice. Can I roll my hide and sneak dice to see if we can stealthily follow the male bunny through the crowd?
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll those.
All right. I've got 1 hide and sneak die, but I have wham bam 4 brave dice.
So.
It's a lot of brave.
I know. I'm a brave little girl.
When you're stabbing people in the back.
I am a brave, crappy little brat. I rolled 16.
All right, hold on, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. So yeah, you successfully stealth your way. You were able to keep your friends from doing anything too obvious.
Shh. Look casual.
I have a question about the system.
Yes.
I've got very clear abilities on how to use those in combat. Am I able to use some of those abilities inventively in role-playing situations?
Yes, actually.
It depends on what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, a few of the special dice have very, very specific uses, and it's best to think of them as like an action button in a video game, like that you press to get a certain result.
Right.
But a lot of special dice, like hide and sneak or cook, can be used very generally in that if you see a situation where you think you might be able to use it, you can say, hey, can I use my hide and sneak dice? And then the game master will say yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and add those to your rolls.
Okay, awesome. Then in that case, I have an idea that I'd like to do. Instead of trying to follow him and sneaking around with him.
Oh, okay.
When I was writing the letter, when I write the letter, I will slip in a paper doll into my letter. and I will basically attune my magic to it. And so after I write it, I slip the thing in before I fold it. I'll attune my magic to it, and I'll basically create a GPS homing beacon so that I can find my voodoo doll in it.
Okay. I think that's we can make a roll for that.
Okay.
I got some dice here. So your voodoo doll wants, I think, smart is what it's hooked to.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Okay, I get 4 dice. Yep, 4 dice total.
All right. So I'm sitting at 9 here.
I've got 5, 5, 4, 1, so that's 15.
Okay. Yeah. You succeed. You've you managed to get a track on him. You know where he is. You get sort of a general sense of where your voodoo doll is. You kind of feel the weight of it in the bag.
Okay.
And you can track that as well.
Okay.
My plan here is to just try and be smelling for the rabbit to follow him, and but also be smelling to find anything that smells like a mermaid.
Right. Okay. Do you want to make a smart roll for sniffing them out? I mean, these two have definitely figured out a way to track down the mermaid. But you might be able to gain some additional information here.
Right.
I created GPS.
2 smart dice, and I've got my fetch stick.
All right.
So that is a 16. Straight 4s.
Oh wow!
I got 16 as well, but players win ties. So yeah, you catch the smell. What you realize is that her smell is sort of everywhere. Like she's been here a while.
Ooh.
So you definitely picked up on the mermaid, and she's been around. Like it's maybe been a week or 2, and she hasn't left.
So
usually you can tell if she's
all
come
over
through.
the place. And, this mermaid, she gets around, if you know what I mean.
No.
Yeah, you catch the sniff.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, I don't know, but when your parents used to watch TV at night, people would say that. And I thought it meant something important.
I have definitely heard my mom say that.
Yeah, I've heard my mommy say that.
I've heard my mom say that about your mom, actually.
About my mom?
What? I've never met your mom. What's your mom like?
Well, but you didn't say your mom had met my mom. You just said that she's saying things about my mom. Why is she saying things about my mom?
Well, I think
she probably could fetch a good stick.
She probably can fetch a good stick. They're probably really good friends.
I bet my mom's really, really likable. I barely remember her, though.
So have we totally lost track of the rabbit?
My mommy's super nice. Why are you... My mommy's the best mommy in the world. I'm gonna miss her.
No, I mean, I like my mom better, and I'll see her again soon.
So yeah, you guys, you're able to track that rabbit. Mary follows it from place to place around town, no problem, sneaking by. In the meanwhile, Sassy is able to sniff out the mermaid throughout the town, learning about what happened. And of course, Ella.
I'm gonna go shopping while I wait for the signal to kind of slow down. Therefore, I'm not trying to follow and trying to be stealthy when I can't be.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, poor Mary's probably getting exhausted sneaking around.
Yeah, it's been a long day of it's a couple hours before. It's a couple hours before the mailman ends up at town hall, and that's when Ella can realize that her letter with the voodoo doll has been taken out of the bag and left somewhere. And at this point, Mary, you see him enter town hall. He's in there for a second. He chats with one of the workers there, hands her some mail, and then walks out. And in that stack of mail that he hands over is the letter.
How do I know it's town hall? Is there a big sign?
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the town. It is a very official looking building. There are guards outside of it. The right side of it seems to be where there's several citizens coming in and out, something about paperwork. The other side of the building seems to be where the jail and guardhouse is.
I'll head there.
And it says Mages R Us Town Hall.
Am I alone, or is Sassy here too?
I don't know.
I've been sniffing to follow, but you've been sneaking. Pardon me. So you probably see me.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, you guys are pretty close by. Ella is shopping, right? What are you after?
Well, just in general, window shopping, not trying to buy anything specific. If I see any, good ingredients for making food, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy that.
All right.
Other than snack food, we still need to eat during the day, so I'm going to make certain I, get ingredients for that for non-stat food.
Totally.
And then I'll fly over to the city hall, the town hall.
Okay. You collect your food. You see that there's several different, places around town you can get food from, and that there is also a big cooking competition happening.
I want to do
later,
that.
if that's something you're interested in.
Yes, I want to do that.
Yeah, that's something that you can do later. Cool. So yeah, you all end up sort of converging at town hall after a little while, and yeah. So what's the plan?
All right, so she's in there, and I think she's either in jail or she's possibly the mayor.
I don't think she's in the doghouse, because that's what that means, right? To be in jail in the doghouse, because she's been all over this place. She, like I said, she gets around.
So
people in jail don't get around.
So she works for the city. She's either like the mayor or the assistant mayor, maybe.
Then we're gonna have to be really careful. I mean, if Cindy and Preston got in trouble with her, we could get in trouble too.
Oh, do you think she had our friends locked up?
Oh, that'd be terrible, but maybe. I mean,
Well, that means
Preston's
we're
always
probably
getting into trouble, right?
Yeah, I think it's okay that they locked Preston up.
Hey,
But I mean, we still have to get him out. But he probably just needs a timeout. I think we should sneak in to the city hall. We should stab her in the throat a whole bunch of times, and then we should break our friends out of jail.
no!
All right, so just the first part.
And the last part, but skip the stabbing.
What do you think we should do?
Sneak in and get them, and get our friends out, but skip the stabbing. I have a cooking competition to get to. I can't afford to go to jail.
All right, but we got to catch this mermaid. Or do you just? I mean, should we just like grab her and tie her up?
Yes, we should.
I'm not a fan of tying him up.
Yeah, but
I've got
pay more for alive than dead. Remember?
Yeah, but then we have to haul her all the way back to Lake Town, and that'll take like 4 days.
Nobody's paying you for this mermaid. You're simply trying to get Cindy's prized possession back from her.
Oh, I guess that means we don't.
You're too far away. You're way too far away from Lake Town to get anything for this.
Well, that's a good point.
We can
Okay.
just steal Cindy's item back then. We don't need to kill her.
Maybe if we just ask her for it, she'll give it to us.
Yeah, maybe if we ask really nice.
I guess it depends on what it is. I mean, if it's a lot of candy, she probably won't want to give it back.
We don't know what it is. I guess we'll have to find out. Maybe we can ask her really nice.
All right, so we'll sneak in, we'll kill the guards, and we'll steal the stuff.
No killing.
Like, do we get to eat them?
Yeah, it depends on what they are.
Ella,
What the guards are?
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Can we see any guards?
Yes.
Oh,
Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yes, you see there are 2 guards in the front door, and then there are several guards sort of taking breaks, hanging out in front of where the jail part of the town hall is, to the left side of it.
Do they look tough? I mean, do they look like guards that a bunch of kids could beat up?
So, in your last couple of places you went to these small towns, and a lot of the guards there were volunteer. These seem to be professional guards. This is what they do for a living. They're well equipped. They're well organized. You could take a couple of them.
All right, so maybe we should just try
ask
to
really nice and go in and see if we can find Cindy and Preston and Cindy's item.
All right, let's try that first. That'll be plan A. Okay?
Okay.
And then plan B can be the stabbing.
How about we make that plan C?
Yeah, but if it's plan C, that'll be weird because it's not in the correct order.
I think it should be
I
plan
can't
S
count
for
that
stabbing.
far.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's
Yep.
So you guys
I
head
can't
into
count that
town
far.
hall?
I never figure out how to get from 1 to C.
I now understand why I no longer want to hold Mary's hand.
Aw. Mary does feel a little dejected. She feels like she is slowly losing her friends, and she doesn't understand why, because stabbing is so much fun.
I now understand why I
So you
stopped
guys
wanting to
heading
hold her
in-
hand. Okay. Yes, we're heading up to...
So you're headed into the town hall?
Yes, we are.
All right. All right. So you guys, you head in. It's the main part is it seems to be more office space than anything else. You enter in. There's a receptionist who stops you and says, "Oh, do you have an appointment with the mayor, the deputy mayor, or the warrant mage?"
We're here to look...
I think we have an appointment with Plan S.
We're looking for Jeannie. I think she's expecting us.
We have an appointment.
And with the planning department for Plan S, I hear.
Yes.
Jeannie, I don't think Jeannie had appointments today. She goes through her booklet. She says, well, I mean, it doesn't say she's busy at the moment. Let me go check." And the receptionist gets up and she walks over to the an office space that is separate from the mayor and deputy mayor's office space. It seems to be what looks like it was a closet at some point, and it's been repurposed. On the outside of it, there's a hastily written note that says Warren Mage's office. And the receptionist opens the door and says, "Jeannie, you have some people to see you." And out from the little office space, you see the mermaid. There she is. She's dressed in these black and white robes. She has a hat with a big official emblem on it, and she's holding a collection of books, and she's got a pair of glasses disguising her identity.
Do
But
we
you guys see right through that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys recognize her immediately.
Excuse me, Jeannie, but you're... How did you become a warrant officer when you're a felon in Lake Town? I said
She slams the door, or she slams the book that she's holding. "Oh, look, the criminals have decided to come and turn themselves in. How fortuitous for all of us."
We're not the criminals. You're the criminal, and fortuitous is not a real word.
It most certainly is. These are the 3 working with those other 2 who are looking to cause such mayhem at the Day of the Dead festival.
Nope.
Good thing I got here early enough to stop all of this. She says as loud as she can.
Complete liar.
I start crying out loud, really, really loud, and saying, "She kidnapped my best friends, and she's hurting people, and she's a felon in Lake Town." And I pull out the wanted poster, and I show the clerk. "See, and take the glasses off, and you'll see it's her. And she kidnapped my friend Cindy." And I start crying really loud.
The receptionist looks at the wanted poster and then looks over at Jeannie and looks back at the wanted poster and goes, "How could this be the same person? Jeannie has glasses on and this one doesn't."
I take the glasses off of Jeannie.
And she's not going to let you do that.
Okay. What's she gonna do? Is she actually gonna attack us?
Well, I know she's not going to attack you, but she's not going to let you grab stuff off her face without a roll.
Okay. Well, no, I know, but so I'm going to try and roll it. Actually, no, easier. I'm going to just draw the glasses on the poster to show her. See? She's just in disguise. The
that's a much better idea. Yeah, that's
the glasses are
the receptionist kind of looks, gets a quizzical look on her face and goes, "Huh, that's interesting, isn't it? Hmm." And Jeannie goes, "Nonetheless, we saved this all for court."
I'm going to go ahead and tease her a little bit, and so I'm going to go. Jeannie thinks she's such a queenie, but really, if we chop her up, she'd be good with fettuccine.
Oh, good. I want you to make a roll.
All right.
If you can.
So is teasing off of brave or smart or what?
I'm pretty sure it uses.
I think it's smart.
Let me look. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's probably smart.
Sorry, I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I'm getting to special.
Roll with your brave dice against a monster smart dice.
That's what it is. Okay. Oh, Jeannie's all kinds of smart.
It's true.
Yeah, 2, 5. What is that? 11, 16.
You beat me by 3.
All right. Yeah, Jeannie. She loses her composure for a second. She gets really angry. You can see her ball up her fists, and then she breathes and she says, "The guards will take you to jail, and we will settle this in court tomorrow."
Jail? We didn't do
and
it.
you hear she goes, "Guards!
Objection!" I say in my Phoenix Wright pose. You can't take us to jail. We haven't done anything at all.
We're here to capture
a few guards from
outside.
Criminal,
and we haven't done anything. And I'm gonna, use my cry, and I'm going to use my smarts to try and convince them of that.
Who are you convincing? The secretary?
The guards, because I'm trying to tell the guards that she's the criminal. She's the real criminal.
So the guards have entered in. Okay.
She's been hiding, and she's been awful, and she's a criminal, and she kidnapped my best friends.
Okay.
Do they feed you in jail?
No.
Do you eat? Do they feed you? Do they bring you meals? Because I'm kind of hungry.
I got 12 with my cry.
Okay. Let me get some stuff for these guys. Just a sec. I think this is going to be let me see what kind of challenge this should be. It's definitely a hard challenge. Rolling that many dice. Okay. So I'm sitting at 10. So I'm sorry, what'd you get?
12.
Okay.
So I'm telling them that, and I show them the poster, and she's the criminal. She's been hiding from Lake Town, where she kidnapped my friends, and she murdered a bunch of people, and she did all these awful
things. And she smells like fish.
You see, all her crimes are listed here on this poster, and she's in disguise here. And you guys made her an important person in town, and she's just gonna secretly hurt your town, steal a bunch of money, and kill a bunch of people, just like she did in Lake Town.
And besides, we're mermaid hunters.
Okay. Settle down now, everybody. The guard says, everybody needs to calm down. We just have to de-escalate the situation here. There's no need for any violence or anything. Now, you kids are coming in saying a lot of stuff with no official paperwork. You have a wanted poster, and that's it. Around here, we like to do a little more licensing for our hunters. Unless you have those licenses.
I've got a license. They chipped me, and I'm registered. I got spayed.
If that's true, then why did she take our friends into custody and say that they're criminals? And why did she say we're criminals when she has no proof either? She has less proof than we do. We have a wanted poster, and she just comes in and says that a bunch of people are bad people and puts them away when she has even less proof, just because she wants them out of the way so she can do her criminal stuff.
Well, now, child, she's a warrant maid. She works directly for the kingdom. She came in. She had her paperwork. She had a badge and everything. Now,
she stole
that's all.
That paperwork, and she stole the badge from one of the people she killed, and we're just here to stop her from continuing.
Now, I think the best thing for everybody here is that we take a moment, we all head back to the jails, and we settle down. All right. We can work this out in court, because that's how we do it in town.
I like court. Court's a good idea, but I'm not going to jail. We didn't do anything wrong.
We didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not going to jail just because she wants to be a horrible person and to commit crimes.
Yeah.
Because I have to get to a cooking competition.
Everybody's going to jail. All right? I'm putting everybody in jail today.
Are you going
how
to jail?
It's going to go.
Are you going to jail?
Put you in jail, and you in jail, and you in jail, and then he also points over at Jeannie, and he says, and you're going to go too, until I can get this sorted.
Mary looks uneasy, but if the mermaid's going to jail, that seems fair.
If the mermaid, if Jeannie goes to jail, then I'm willing to go because we'll be able to prove she's a bad guy. So I'll go.
We can show you all the rules.
So if anybody wants to try and escape, now would be the time to do it. If you're looking to start a fight, maybe this is the time to do it. Otherwise, you can cooperate with them.
I'll cooperate. I will tell them that I need to get out in time to participate in the cooking competition, though.
Okay. Well, if you're not a criminal, yeah.
Yeah. Mary has not learned to not trust the police, so she is under the assumption because, she knows that we're right, that the police will also understand that and it'll all work out in court. So she's willing to go along with them.
All right.
I have a really important question.
Yes.
Is there food?
In jail?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you bring food?
Yeah, there's food in jail.
Oh, yeah. This place sounds awesome, Ella. They're putting us up in a hotel. Well, maybe a motel.
A motel. The guards escort all of you.
There's room service.
There is. That's exactly what it is. It's like room service. The guards escort you around the building into the jail side. You enter in. You see that it's multiple cells, all sort of sealed off from each other. They put all of you into a single cell, including Jeannie.
Okay.
And they lock you in. The guard says, "All right, now everybody be peaceful. We're going to contact the judge. He's enjoying the festivities in town right now. But as soon as he's available, we'll make sure to get this show on the road. Be careful in there. Y'all play nice."
See, you stupid mermaid? As soon as that judge gets here, he's going to see how guilty you are, and then you're going to go to jail forever.
The mermaid slumps down in the corner, and she just starts crying.
Oh, crap. Now,
why did you hurt our friends?
Well, I didn't hurt your friends. I just got them off of my back because they were trying to murder me. Just like they murdered my two sisters.
Because you stole Cindy's possession. You stole Cindy's thing.
Yeah, the candy.
I didn't steal.
We get the candy.
Anything from Cindy. We made a trade, and that was that. Cindy traded her stupid little locket for 2 daggers. She traded it.
Do that?
Fair and square.
Why would she do that?
Because she wanted the daggers.
Well, yeah.
And then later she ends up stabbing Deborah with one of them.
Yeah.
That doesn't
So?
sound like Cindy. Cindy wouldn't stab anyone. You're lying.
Yeah, that's mostly
No. Come on, we've stabbed a lot of people. I mean, I haven't stabbed.
a lot of people.
I've bitten them.
I do enjoy stabbing. Do I have my daggers now? Did they take our stuff?
No, they didn't take any of your stuff. I mean, you cooperated, and they're not willing to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I think it's the logic of even if you had your daggers with you, this is the town that has 100 guards. They're not particularly worried about you.
And I'm carrying a broom, so they think I'm going to clean the cell.
Yeah, I don't know what your deal is.
All right, listen, you mermaid. We're gonna make
all I wanted was a simple life of crime. I was gonna steal some gold from a bank. I was gonna live on a beach somewhere, and it was gonna be great. That was all it was gonna be. It didn't have. Nobody had to get hurt. Nothing had to go wrong. But of course, it always does.
Yeah, because we're here and we're gonna get our stuff back, and you can't stop us. So why don't you just give us the thing back, and then we can make a deal, and the judge can just put you in jail.
Give her the locket. Give us the locket back. And what did you do to Cindy? Where is she?
Yeah,
and Preston too.
Oh, and that other one, yeah. They're in the jail.
Kind of cute, but I don't think he's very nice. So I don't know about him.
What? Preston's great, but he's not cute.
No, Preston's cute, but Preston's mean sometimes, and he lies a lot. So I don't think
he does lie a lot.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's what makes him so cool, though.
No, I don't like it when he lies. I don't like it when he lies.
So wait, they're here in the jail?
Yeah. I put them there when they tried to screw up everything here. Just like you tried to screw up everything here.
Call out to them. Guys, where are you? Hello?
Preston? Cindy? Are you there?
You hear way in the back of the jail, you hear something like, wait, is that Ella? And then from the front of the guardhouse, you hear, hey, shut up back there.
No, you shut up. Oh, was that a guard?
There's a beating on the door of your cell. He's like, I will get the hose.
I start barking. Because whenever, somebody says shut up, that's what dogs do.
Yeah. Also, he mentioned the word hose, which is, definitely gets dogs super excited. The guards open up the little slot on the door and say, shh, there's no reason to be barking right now.
I heard voices out there.
Guard?
There's other people in other cells.
Guard?
Oh, my God, bring them over here. We need to talk. They need to pet me.
Guard, did you hear that Jeannie confessed she was just trying to rob people of a bunch of money, so she is a bad guy?
Well, I wasn't listening to you whisper at each other, only when you started screaming.
We weren't whispering. Jeannie, tell the guard what you told us about how you just wanted a simple life of crime and how you were going to rob people of a bunch of money and then just retire on a beach. Tell
him. She sort of shrugs her shoulders.
She said that.
I don't know what she's talking about, Nard.
You are such a liar.
She gets a little tears in her eyes. She's like, I'm just trying to do my job.
No.
I think she lies more than Preston.
Yeah. She should be the one that everybody calls a liar. Listen, it's 3-1. 3 of us heard her, and so 3 of us say yes, and she says no, so she has to go to jail.
What I'm actually going to do...
You're already in jail.
Actually, what I'm going to do at this point, since is now that I know that a guard is listening, when I'm going to make sure that I'm going to basically, when the guard, has that slot open to and is talking to us, I'm going to jam something in so that it stays open a little bit, so that the guard can hear us more easily. And then after the guard goes back to his duty and he can still hear us, I am going to attempt to use my cry plus smart, and I'm going to try and outsmart outsmart Jeannie to get her to brag about her ability to, that if those Scooby-Doo kids hadn't foiled my plans, kind of thing, and tell us more about it, so that the guard will hear this time.
Okay. So you're gonna make a roll?
Yes, I'm gonna make a roll. I rolled 19. 6,
That's
4,
a lot.
5, 4. 6, 4, 5, 4.
I'm rolling 4 dice, so I could technically
And
beat
I'm
it. Let's find
maneuvering
out.
us as we're talking, and I'm crying. I'm maneuvering us so that she's closer and closer to that opening, so that the guard will hear it.
Yeah, I didn't get 19. Nope, didn't make it. All right. So yeah, she
dumbly will do that and allow herself to get maneuvered into the area so the guard hears her.
You succeed there. She continues with her little charade for a while until she drops it and says, oh, you're all gonna get it, and just like I screwed over your friends, I'm gonna get you guys
We're
too.
gonna get it? Yeah, I've been waiting for dinner
I'm
for a
gonna
while.
get you and your little dog too. Yep. So, and making it, lining up so that the guard can hear, and hopefully the guard bursts in and says, "Hey, I heard that."
Yeah,
You have way too much faith in that guard.
Hopefully. I rolled really well.
Yeah, the guard is listening. He's not going to burst in. He's
Right.
waiting for the judge.
Right.
It's not his job to necessarily be like,
But now we have
I'm
a
the
win.
decider.
Yep. But now I have the guard.
But it's definitely obvious that he can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's obvious that he can hear what's going on, and there's clearly an understanding there.
Awesome.
Mary is oblivious to your plan. She's not smart enough to catch on to what you're doing. So instead, she is pacing around the cell, just shaking in rage and getting angrier and angrier at the sheer injustice of what's happening.
Oh, and I do want to point out to both of you, I do also have good plan as one of my powers.
Very good.
Cry and good plan. I don't know if you can you stack 2 powers in this game?
Some special dice can be used together and some can't. And that's in situations like this during challenges, that's up to the game master's discretion if you can use them together.
So like you could use Pain Train along with Bite if you'd dropped somebody already?
Actually. And in combat, during fights, those dice specifically have tags that tell you whether you can use them together.
Awesome. Well, cool. So I should have asked about the good plan to use with that, and gotten an extra die. But I did pretty well as it is, so we're good. Now I know.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm smart for an 8-year-old.
You're a prodigy.
So yeah, you guys are there for a couple hours before things start. Is there anything else you want to ask the mermaid, or any plans you want to make now that you're going to court?
I want to ask about the candy a lot.
I want to ask about the locket. What she did with the locket.
She says it's in her office, locked away in a desk drawer. That her plan was to sell it because it's strange gold, but she hasn't found a buyer yet.
Strange gold.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it's gold, but it's not from around here.
Oh, yeah.
It's different.
Okay. Well, Mary is too furious to ask that. Instead, she is considering just stabbing the mermaid and then fleeing out the door, but she manages to contain herself until eventually the judge shows up.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a little while before the guards open the door back up, and they say, "All right, judge is settled in. Let's go ahead and go to the courtroom. We can all talk this out and find the truth. All right."
Are we going to have breakfast at court? Because I'm getting kind of hungry.
Give Yeah, there'll be some food.
Guard, I'd like these two guards to come with us, please. They're gonna say stuff too. They need to come with us.
That'll be for the judge to decide. You'll have to talk to him about that.
Okay. Excuse me, guards. What's your name so I can tell the judge that you need to come with us?
The guard who was sitting there before, he says, "Oh, well, you can call me Tom."
Hi, Tom. So you heard the truth when we were in there, right? And you will tell the truth to the judge?
Yeah, I'll say what I heard. It was a lot of crying, but I think I got the gist of it.
Thank you. Okay. I will go.
All right, you guys make your way past all the jail cells a little farther into the main building. And yeah, you see it's this small little courtroom. It's got 3 or 4 benches on each side of the main aisle. And the main aisle leads to a large desk area with a large chair. And then before that, a podium in front of it. Sitting at the desk, you see an older man, pointy ears, like the other humanoids you've seen that don't have animal heads. He seems like he's probably in his 90s, and he's wearing big flowing robes, and over his shoulder is a cartoonish sized gavel.
Judge, sir.
Everybody, take a seat. Everyone, take a seat now. All right, you over here, and you over here. He has everybody sit down.
You need to call Guard Tom as a witness, sir. Guard Tom heard her whole confession, and so you need to call him over because you'll trust his word over ours, and he heard everything she said when she confessed.
Well, little Missy, we have proceedings to go through. We won't just. We won't be just bringing in a witness immediately. I need to understand the situation. I need to understand why you have decided to accuse my ward mage of something like this. And I need to understand who you are, so well-equipped and dangerous looking. I think that's where we need to start. Who are the 3 of you? And what do you have to do with those 2 criminals I have locked up already?
They aren't criminals. The Genie is a criminal from Lake Town, and I have a wanted poster for her. She was stealing, and she was stealing from banks and hurting people, and she didn't mean to hurt people, she said. Even Tom heard that, but she stole a lot of money, and she was trying to be a bad person just so that she could retire on a beach. And Guard Tom heard her tell all of it, and we were asked to go and stop her, and our friend Cindy was trying to stop her, but then she hurt Cindy, and then she put Cindy in jail saying Cindy was a criminal when Cindy was just trying to stop her from being a bank robber.
Oh yeah, I mean we all started on this when we first got here, and a fairy asked us to go kill some mermaids because then if we did it, they'd feed us.
What do you mean just got here?
Right after we got here.
Yeah, from the real world?
I don't understand.
You know,
the real world, our home.
Is that like a town somewhere in the boonies?
No, it's the real world where, with electricity and TVs and stuff. And we came here through a magical door. I don't think they know about this.
You found a door.
I can't normally talk.
He looked at all of you strangely. He looks at the 2 humans, not the dog necessarily, but he looks at 2. He goes, "You have strange ears."
Yeah,
they're all round and ugly. So you're not from the what? From the South Reaches, or you're not from?
No.
What? Madras? Where?
We're from the real world. We're from a completely different world. We came through the door.
United States of America.
We're from America.
USA. USA. I start mimicking what I see people chanting and such.
Yeah,
So-
we're far away.
Yeah,
Like
Oh,
there,
wow.
here you've got Mages R Us. There we've got Toys R Us.
which is better.
But they don't have the right type of toys.
They don't.
Interesting. And so you came through a door from another place.
A magic door.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
met a fairy, and he told us to be mermaid hunters, and we did, and we were really good at it. And then he told us that we're heroes, and he made us take jobs.
Okay. I understand that. I've met heroes before.
And
I
genies
guess
in
my
the back
question is,
going,
We're heroes.
I guess my question is, are you friends with a princess?
I mean,
Like maybe you met one on your way through the door?
yeah. I mean, Cindy's a princess. That's what she always says.
Cindy. And he looks at some paperwork. Is that the one we have in a jail cell right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean someone who has ears like me. Did you happen to see someone like that?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Do you mean Prince Dracul?
Interesting. What do you know of the prince?
Oh,
He leans in a little closer and looks at you.
he's a bad guy. He's a vampire.
That he rules the land, right? That he's your boss?
he sends
He
birthday
is.
presents to people.
Well, today is my birthday, and Prince Dracul sent me a present. See, would he,
Maybe
send,
he-
would he send me a present if we're the criminals and not her? And I
Right.
I will show my letter.
He takes the letter and looks at it. He reads it. He goes, Ella is your name.
Short for
Interesting. And you would describe yourself as a princess?
Not
Is that
really.
true?
Not really, but apparently Prince Dracul thinks I'm one.
He looks at your ears. He motions you over to come a little closer to his bench
Okay.
and looks at you and says,
I fly over to his bench, which is probably something that
He's a little-
not many people here can do, is my understanding. So I will fly.
Yeah, he's a little weirded out by what you're doing. He says, "All right. Interesting. I am in search of a princess, and I was hoping you may have seen her, but I guess not.
Why are you searching for a princess?
The prince is looking for one. That's all.
to marry?
It sounds like no, I'm sure maybe. I don't know what he wants with her.
Well, he.
But we'll get back to the topic at hand. I was just curious. Now,
But see,
now you're telling me. I'm sorry, what?
But see, if we were the bad guys, then your boss wouldn't send me such a nice letter, right?
I don't think everything is that black and white. I think the boss might be, or the king, the prince, whatever you'd like to call him. He might just be simply inviting you, since you seem to be foreigners. You know, he was a foreigner once.
No, foreigners means you're from another country. We're from America.
This isn't America.
Oh, you're right.
But that doesn't change what a word means, does it?
No, it doesn't. Mary's really smart. You should listen to her. And
Yeah.
How did we get to Mary's really smart?
Because
Shut
Mary
up,
is really
Dawn.
smart.
She knows all the best ways to stab something.
That's true.
Go ahead and let's see. Let's have all of you roll some smart dice.
Sure.
Who has? I don't think any of you took black or white
Negotiate or
magic
anything?
protection, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Okay, good.
I have
So
fireproof.
everybody make a smart roll.
Okay, I got 3.
Is there a way to? Is there a way for rerolls in this game?
There are some mechanics to some specific characters, but no, not a universal mechanic.
Okay, I rolled really bad. Then I got 5.
Uh-oh.
If you take their numbers and take one and multiply it by the other, that's my result, or 15.
Oh.
All right. Well, you definitely got it then. Sassy, you notice that the mermaid's doing something. The mermaid's moving her hands. She's like mouthing something. You can't tell what it is, but she's doing something, and that's why she's been so quiet.
Hey, you stop it. You. Stop it. What are you doing? What do you have in your mouth? What are you doing? That's what they always ask me. What do you have in your mouth?
She looks over and she goes, What do you mean? What's the problem?
You were doing something. I saw it. Did you see it? I saw it.
I didn't see it.
What is she doing? What is she doing?
I don't know. It looked like that wacky stuff that people do sometimes.
Yeah, you see her, she kind of shrugs, and now that you've broken her concentration, you see that the judge is sort of shaking his head a bit. And he goes, what were we talking about? What's going on? That's right. That's right. Oh, so you guys, you stole something? What happened?
What? No, we didn't.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, you're the friend with the others. Yeah.
I have a question. Is there any way I can adapt my voodoo doll to break whatever spell is on him? That's clearly on him right now.
Whatever the spell was is broken. It is no longer being cast. He's waking up from whatever it is.
Okay. I'm going to go over what was said again. That we are. I show the wanted poster and explain everything all over again like we did before.
Yeah. So he looks at all this information.
And I ask for Guard Tom to be brought in because Guard Tom can tell him that she confessed.
Yeah, he as he's looking over the wanted poster and he looks at your little drawing with the glasses on it. He goes, "Oh, that really helps. Yeah, they look just alike, don't they?" Ah, and he calls in the guard and Tom sits there and repeats your entire conversation that you had with Jeannie. All the while, Jeannie's just sitting there, just silent and pale. And the judge says, when Jeannie came to town a couple weeks ago, she it did seem a little suspicious. I didn't think much of it. It was nice having a warrant mage around. But maybe we'll have to send a letter to the officials and see if she's actually what she says she is.
She's not.
She's not. She's a bank robber.
Yeah, Jeannie had an evil plan to steal a beanie instead of her starfish bikini. She gonna get beat by a pre-teenie. We gonna celebrate with martinis.
Martinis?
Wow. Yeah, that's a drink, right? I hear. Your parents like to drink them a lot after you go to bed.
My mom does like to drink martinis. Mary is completely blown away by your rhyme.
Thank you, Judge. Can we go now? I need to go cook for that cooking contest, and if I win, I'll give you something to taste of the stuff that I make. I want to go and try my hand at the contest.
But we still need the locket. We need Cindy's locket.
Yeah, and Judge, Jeannie has our friend's locket. And the two other people that you have locked up. She are friends. They're not criminals either.
Oh, the other two. Okay.
And Jeannie has
All right.
the locket in her office in the desk drawer, she said.
That's what she told us.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll look for it there. We're gonna hold her for now, but I would like you all to stay in town and not leave until I can verify all of this.
Don't leave town. That's what they always say.
That's exactly what we always say.
There's lots of things to do in town. There's the festival, and there's a cooking contest, and there's lots of stuff. And I'm gonna go cook in the contest.
I promise, as the leader, I look around at you two questioningly.
I shake my head.
Okay. I promise we won't leave town.
Okay.
Okay, as a hero.
As a hero. We are all heroes.
All right.
Okay.
He gets up in his chair. He's like, it seems like we're done for now. I want to go back to the festivities. But the guards will be in touch.
Okay.
And he gets up, he bangs his oversized gavel and walks out. The guards that were there are saying, "All right, we'll let your friends out, and I guess you're free to go."
Woohoo!
And we'll put
Thank you.
her down.
Thank you.
I knew it. Justice prevails.
Justice.
Justice.
The mermaid, who is silent the whole time, is put back in the cell and says nothing to any of you. They the guards open up the doors to let what was it? Yeah, Preston and Cindy out, and they come out. They greet all of you, and there's hugs, and everybody's happy. Cindy says that they've been in there for over a week now.
Wow.
She's like, it was super gross. I had to watch Preston poop.
Oh, no.
That is super gross.
It was terrible.
What's wrong with that? I mean, everybody watches me poop.
Because you're a dog.
Nobody wants to.
We're pretty beat up.
Where's the candy?
There's no candy. What are you talking about?
We came all this way for candy. And you.
Right.
We came all this way to get my locket.
Your locket has candy in it?
No.
That's why you locked it? That's why you locked it, right? Because to protect the candy.
Oh my gosh. No, the locket's important.
They said that your locket is in Jeannie's desk drawer in her office.
Oh. Well, I mean, we better get it, but I think we should definitely get Preston to the end so he can sleep. He hasn't been doing too well here.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the end, and because we're going to get the locket back tomorrow because the judge said so. So let's go to the end, and then we can go to the cooking contest.
Oh, yeah. I bet I could eat there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the inn, and then we're gonna go to the cooking contest.
All right. So you guys make it to one of the local inns. There are several in the area, but they're all so busy right now at the festival that you finally find one that has a couple of rooms available.
What's wrong with Preston?
He seems ill, like he was not being taken care of very well there, and some sort of sickness, needs to sleep.
I
don't necessarily want to.
I check his pants. Do they seem burned?
His pants?
Hands.
I've heard about this sickness that will afflict people like Preston. Liar, pants on fire. I want to check and see if that's what happened.
His pants seem okay. It's still a mystery what's going on.
How come you guys couldn't get out of jail? We got out super easy.
That wasn't very easy.
Like,
I had to work very hard to get a plan in order there, and it was very hard to get the guard to hear us and be able to speak on our behalf.
What? That was all coincidence. It was super easy.
No,
I didn't even have to stab anyone.
I made certain that after the guard yelled at us, that the little panel he uses to open so that he can hear and talk more easily was left open. I kept it open, and then I moved Jeannie to the door as I was asking her stuff and making certain that he could hear us. And I worked really hard on that, and you kept trying to block us when I was trying to get her to move, so you almost ruined it.
Oh,
That sounds like a really good plan. Are you going to eat that?
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's like you, Mary.
I was thinking of my own plan. I had a whole plan to kick down the door and stab all the guards and run upstairs and grab the locket and then jam my knife into that mermaid's eyes over and over again. So it would have worked out.
Preston had a really similar plan. That's why we failed.
Oh. Maybe I'm not the leader after all.
I'm the lady.
Well, I mean, of course you're not. I'm the leader, Cindy says, because it's my door.
Yeah, you both keep thinking that. Can we go to the inn and get settled in, and then I want to go and make and cook at the contest, and then we can see if we win anything.
Yeah, that's fine, Cindy says. Me and Preston will go. We'll rest up. There's no way we could be helpful right now.
Okay.
But it's just make sure.
Don't worry, we're used to that.
As soon as we get that locket tomorrow, we can, I don't know, go find one of those hunters.
Yeah, and kick their asses.
Yeah. They head upstairs to the room you guys are sharing. They pay for it, so you guys don't have to worry about it.
Oh, good.
And but yeah, it's getting later at night. The first part of the cooking competition is going to start soon.
Okay. I wish.
Did you you want to participate? All right. So you guys, as night sort of starts coming on, you notice that the festival is really getting into full swing. Everybody's out now. There's music. There's dancing and activities. There's ghosts that are starting to appear. Like you can visibly see these, translucent, floaty shapes of different things, sort of dancing around and kind of coming into the waking world, into the living world.
I'm going to pull my mask down. I don't want them to recognize me.
Yeah, do you guys have your costumes on?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right. So the cooking competition is happening in one of the market squares. It's a big area they've built. They built all the stadium seating around it, and you guys go up to the sign up table. Okay. There's a couple of fairies there. I say, are you looking to participate this year?
Yes, please. How do we participate, and what do we cook?
Well,
and can you participate as an eater? I'd like to eat it all.
Well, I mean, somebody has to eat the food after it's made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That's my job. I've got a job now. I'm not a freelancer.
Well, he spins a book in front of him and pushes it towards you and hands you a little feather and an inkwell. He says, I'm going to need you to sign your name here, decide your cooking team name. Chef Quorum's competition is always the same every year. Each one of the 5 competitive groups will be given a single ingredients, and you, as a chef, will have to make a dish using each one of those ingredients, obtaining that ingredients from the other chefs in any way you can, whatever you have to do to get it, and make a delicious dish.
I look at Mary.
All right, Mary has suddenly realized she has a purpose on this team.
You go get us the ingredient. What ingredient is it this year?
Well, each of you gets a different one, and it's a mystery until we start.
Right, but what is it?
Okay.
Well, you don't get to know.
And we're supposed to steal it get it from the other teams as well?
Yeah. So there are 5 teams. Each one has a different type of ingredient. You have to use all 5 ingredients to create a dish, and that dish is going to be judged by the chef himself, and will then be consumed by the members of your team after.
Okay.
Nice. And we can do anything.
Well, I mean, as long as you stay within the arena.
Okay.
We can break laws.
There's no laws in the kitchen.
Okay.
Okay.
So on our team then,
So you need us to sign like an autograph?
Yeah. So we need to know who the chef is,
I'm the
the
chef.
assistant chef, and then of course your what we call the bus boy. You'll need one of those too.
Well, my assistant chef is going to be what's the busboy's job?
Well, the bus boy is the one who's going to go get all those.
Oh, my busboy is Mary, and my assistant chef is Sassy. I'm the chef.
old.
And I have.
All right.
So we sign up. I would like to at this point point out that I have a good plan as my power. So I would like to take time once we figure out, once we get a lay of the arena, I'm going to come up with a plan. And I don't know if there's any way I can use it to help Mary on her job of getting us the ingredients. But
yes, because we're going to treat this as a combat.
Awesome.
So that's good plan is going to come into effect as it would as a combat ability.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, you guys, after you've signed in, he says now that is, of course, some coins. You'll have to pay into the pot if you want to win the money in the end.
I will put some coins into the pot.
There's money.
All right, so go ahead and drop your coin status all the way down to none.
Okay.
Is this for all of us?
No, just one of you has to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course I need it. What's your team name?
Oh, you're the.
I'd eat that.
Master Chefs.
Master
No,
Chef.
I think I ate that.
I'd eat that.
Oh, I'd eat that. Sure. I like that one. I'd eat that.
I'd eat that. All right. Well, excellent. All right, go on inside. You'll see that there's a little tent where you guys can get yourselves prepared and talk as a team. Even meet some of the other competitors if you'd like. But no funny business before this all starts.
Okay.
And he gestures you in towards the arena encased by all the seating.
Wow, look at this place.
Yeah, you guys go in and you see there's 5 big cooking stations, and then in the center there's like a cabinet that has several different ingredients in it, and then there seems to be a small set of stairs in the ground that leads down to an ice box that has some frozen stuff down there in it, and it's all set up. And then on the other side there's a tent. And you can see a few other people coming in and out of the tent, and they're all wearing aprons and chef's whites and stuff like that.
Wow.
Cool.
It's like a cooking TV show.
Except we get to use combat, apparently.
What's the point of cooking on a TV show? You don't get to eat it.
Well, the people on the TV show get to eat it.
This is true.
Sassy looked so confused at this. Why would you watch somebody else eat something and not try and eat it yourself? I try that with the TV once in a while.
But that's the only thing adults do. They just watch people eat food on TV and then eat other food while they watch.
That sounds weird.
Adults are weird.
Why would they do something like that?
I think when you get old, all you think about is food.
I must
Sassy,
be old.
Yeah, I was going to say Sassy must be old.
I think Sassy is old.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys make your way into the tent across the way to get ready. As you enter in, you see that it's sort of a locker room set up where there's a little bench and a collection of little units for you to put some stuff in that you're not taking with you into the arena, and there's an apron hanging for each of you.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. I'll put my apron on. It's too big.
As you say that, you can feel it sort of resize to you. Even for the dog, it sort of reshapes itself to fit the dog correctly. And then across the front of the apron, you can see some letters popping up that says, "I'd eat that."
Whoa, it's a magic apron. That's super cool.
Do we get to keep these afterwards?
You don't know. You'll have to ask.
I think that what's written on that's a great idea, so I start gnawing at mine.
Yeah, you know on it, and any damage you do to it sort of seems to...
Okay. I was just waiting for the apron to say, hey, stop that!
Yeah, the apron sort of magically repairs itself as you tear at it. And it seems impervious to your gnawing and all that.
Awesome.
In the tent, there's you can see the pieces of the other team. Some of them are talking to each other. You seem to be the youngest out of everybody here. Most of the others are clearly adults and veteran chefs and all that. A few of them look over in your direction and whisper to each other and chuckle.
I think they're laughing at us. Don't laugh at us.
Oh,
What are
we're
the,
not laughing at
what are the
you.
other
We're laughing
teammates?
with you.
We're not laughing. There's nothing funny here.
The other team names vary. There's a few of them you can't read because you don't understand the language. One of them is that you can understand is a group of toothfacers, which are these weird burlap sack-like creatures that are filled with bugs and teeth.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like Nightmare
yeah,
Before
and they're
Christmas.
stitched together. It's very similar to that thing, yeah. And they all look at you. They're wearing aprons that have the words "pigeon soup" across the front.
Okay.
And yeah, you see the pigeon soups. There's the oh my gosh, where did I write these down? I put them somewhere. Oh, wait. Oh no.
Who knew taking cooking would come in so handy?
Right. Yeah, cooking's a lot of fun to do, and there's a lot of cooking-based stuff, like cooking-based events, and there's a whole Chef's Day holiday, which is all about cooking and getting special recipes that you can cook with.
Cool. Feels like very Final Fantasy or video game in case,
Yeah.
as if there's inspiration there.
Mm-hmm.
So so there's pigeon soup. There's the king chefs.
I like pigeon shoe better for...
There's squid fairies, and then there's you guys. I'd eat that. And then the last one, yeah, you can't read the name of. It just looks like it says. It looks like it kind of has the letters TUT, but you can't really tell.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, each one, they have various members. Only one of the teams seems to be all toothfacers. Otherwise, all the teams, everybody's a little different. They all seem to be, probably different skill levels as well. But yeah, you hear loudly from outside the tent, one of the guys you had talked to who signed up, you hear his big booming voice, and he says, 5 minutes before we begin, 5 more minutes.
Should we go over and shake everybody's hands? That's what they do on cooking shows.
I don't think that they don't look like they want to shake our hands over there.
Are any of them armed?
Yeah, no, you see several of them. They're equipped similarly to how you guys are equipped.
I think this is going to be a fight. I think there's going to be fighting.
I think so too. I have a question. Do any of them fly, or am I going to be the only flyer?
Yeah, you're probably the only person flying.
Cool. I'm not going to show that I'm flying until we're about to lift off.
Quick question on flying. Like, as a freelancer, you get the choice of, any 2 weapons, and then brooms are listed on the weapons chart, which give you a +1 fly. So if you, as a freelancer, took a broom, would you therefore be able to fly?
No,
No.
Because the weapons chart, you'll see that the flying special die only go to the witches.
Gotcha. That's kind of what I expected, but...
And actually, if you look at when I told you about freelancers, I generalized a bit. They don't actually get to use every weapon in the game. If you look under their entry, they have a weapon list that is most of the weapons, but it does not actually include brooms.
Gotcha.
That being said, you can always pick up and use any weapon you want to. You just can't add that weapon's dice to your attacks if you don't have the ability to use it.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
All right. So yeah, the festivities are starting to begin. You can hear the crowds coming in and taking their seats around the arena. One at a time, the announcer calls each team out, yours being the last, as they get into position at their cooking station. As you guys all get out, and you see there's just a huge crowd that's amassed, and everybody's screaming and having a good time. The moon is starting to get towards the center of the sky at this point, and more of the ghostly entities are becoming more visible and more sort of there. And you can see several of them are taking seats in the stadium as well, or floating above it. One ghost in particular you see that sort of comes down from the sky into the middle of the arena is a massive ghost fairy, and he's wearing chef whites, and he's got a big shiny apron on that has like a gold trim around it. And you hear people from the crowd go, "Oh, that's Chef Corum! He's here! That means it's starting!" And you hear clapping and cheering from the crowd.
Oh no, this ghost.
Yeah, he kind of comes down and he clears his throat. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the 218th year of Chef Corum's competition. Of course, just like last year, we will be doing 5 teams of some of the best chefs around." And everybody starts cheering, and you can hear a few. There's a whole section of the crowd that just yells, "Pigeon soup! Woo!" And the ghost chef says, "All right, everyone, calm down. All right, so the rules, of course, are simple. Each one of you is going to get a type of ingredient, and you will have an hour to make a dish using all 5 ingredients given. And how you achieve getting those other ingredients is, of course, up to you. As long as it doesn't involve the crowd or leave this arena, everything is fair game." He looks to all of you. Says, "Good luck, and don't forget to, I don't know, play dirty if you want." And you hear a bell ring.
And as the bell rings, I lift into the air.
All right. So it sounds like you're doing the first thing. So it sounds like you're going to take the first action in this fight.
Sure.
Just a second. Before the fight starts, you have the opportunity to use your good plan special dice.
That's what I was about to ask. I would like to use.
So we got a chart for that.
Yep. I have
Good
it
plan
in front of me.
chart.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
like you got it too.
So I get to use smart with my good plan, and I get to roll
right.
this. Yep. And I'll get to move people's squares. So I got 17.
All right.
So you can move somebody 1 square. So what that's going to allow you to do is that as of right now, each of you are hands off of your workstation. And so that's going to allow, one of the other 2 to start moving around, or that's going to allow you to uncover your ingredient and find out what it is.
I am going to get Mary closer to getting one of our ingredients.
Okay, send me out those pigeon soup boys.
All right. Yeah, they're to your left, and you see them all set up. So let's start this out. So it looks like Ella's going to take that first action. So what do you want to do?
I'm going to grab a voodoo doll, and I am going to I'm going to, with whoever the pigeon soup guy is that Mary seems to be heading towards and targeting, that's the one I am going to target with my voodoo doll.
Okay.
And
excellent.
Let's see how I do. Ooh, that's nice. I rolled 3 5s and a 4, so that's 19.
And he's using, I think, his strong as well. Or no, sorry, not his strong, his smart.
Yeah. resisted by rolling smart. So roll with smart against a monster. If you win, the monster may if you win, that monster must make an attack or cast a spell against another monster of your choice with its next action if possible. You cannot use move during this turn that you use Voodoo Doll. Monsters resist Voodoo Doll by rolling smart.
Excellent. All right. You said you got 19?
I got 19.
Oh yeah, he only has 2 smart dice, so you definitely got him.
He turns his back on Mary to whack at his fellow chef instead, and therefore Mary can go and yoink the item.
Okay, so do you want him to go next, or you're gonna, or who are you choosing to go next?
Well, since we have a chain going, I'm going to be passing it to Mary. But before I pass, I successfully attack somebody with one of my powers during a combat. Therefore, I automatically get to inflict a curse.
No.
Okay.
No. So those are only when you're actually attacking. So Voodoo Doll is just a special die. It is not considered an attack.
Okay. Never mind then. Never mind.
So you'll find dice that say stuff like add this to an attack, right? Those are the ones that work for that, right? Those count as an attack, right?
Okay.
This is specifically a different thing. This is sort of a debuffing effect. It doesn't count the same way.
Okay, I was looking for any ability or power that would allow me to actually take an attack with my smart, since I can take defense with my smart. Is there a power or ability that allows that? I'm curious.
There is not.
No. You don't have access to anything that's going to let you do that. So what it is how that witch works is that you end up doing physical attacks to create your curses to go off, right?
Yep.
And so because the witch, yes, exactly. So the witch suffers from the fact that she doesn't just have a bunch of strong, right? So the supplements for this are to use non-tough damaging attacks. So it constitutes anything that still counts as an attack. So this is trip, fight dirty, headbutt.
Just as long as I basically make physical real contact with my weapon.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Like throwing a knife at somebody, for example.
Awesome. Then, awesome. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think at this point I am going to keep the chain going. So passing to Mary, since I just gave her the opening, sounds like a plan.
Okay, I am going to rush at the pigeon soup team. Have they revealed what their ingredient is?
No, they haven't done anything yet. You guys are the first to do anything.
All right. So am I close enough to get into their kitchen area?
Yeah, so you got to move before at the beginning of so yeah, you can move again into their area.
All right, I am going to rush into their area, and I am going to yank the lid off of their ingredient pot cupboard.
Okay.
What do we see?
So yeah, you pull it open and you see it's just this hunk of meat.
Okay. Can I roll to snatch it?
Yeah, so this is going to be you're going to want to make a roll. Yeah, go ahead and add, if you have snatch, go ahead and add snatch to that.
I don't. Now that I mentioned it, I wish I did. I just have a bunch of brave.
Okay, then go ahead and make that roll.
Or whatever. This.
I'm trying to think of. Let me look and see what else would be a good fit for stealing this.
Unfortunately, I don't have steel or anything like that.
Yeah.
I could stab it. I mean,
I think you're just... So, snatch, sniper, steal. Yeah, so either steal or snatch would have been good, but neither of those. So, yeah, you're just rolling brave.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to roll my 2 brave dice plus the 2 brave dice from my dagger plus the 1 die from the action chain. So that's 5 dice altogether.
Are you taking a portion or are you taking the entire thing?
Ooh, I don't feel like I want to share. I'm a horrible brat. I'm taking the entire.
All right, so make that roll. 18?
Yeah, 3, 6, 1, 2, 6.
3. It's 11. You got me.
Woohoo!
All right.
I whip up a chunk of meat.
Yeah, you were able to snatch it. You see, a few of the guys are like, "She's got our meat."
Stay back.
They point at you.
I pull out a knife menacingly. All right. I choose. Should we keep the action chain going, or should we choose somebody else?
Up to you.
You know, we're off to a good start. Let's keep the chain going. You're up, Matt.
All
So,
right.
excuse me, says one of the pigeon soup team.
Oh,
So go ahead and roll some brave. What I got here? 3, 4, 7, 8. That's not great.
14.
ooh.
Oh, nice. All right. His muffled excuse me just can't be heard. There's too much going on.
So if I were to tease in this situation, what would the result be?
So you would choose a target you want to tease, and if you succeed against them, that target has no choice but to try and attack you.
Okay.
Right? They have to spend their turn either moving to you to attack you or attacking you if able.
All right. And so, like, if I would tease Ella, she couldn't do a voodoo doll on me because that is not an attack.
Oh, actually, it's broader than attack.
I
Target
think it's
would
anything.
action against you, and that was
Well, I can actually just read it really quick. Let me look. Let me find where it is. But there's. I think it's just you have to take your action against them.
You have to take an offensive action against them, right?
force the monster to take their next action against you and move towards you.
Yes. So as long as you're doing, yeah.
Okay.
So what's your plan then?
So what are the other options? Like, we're supposed to theoretically be cooking, but so far,
Yes. Okay. So you can, with a little bit of your movement, go ahead and pull open the cover over your ingredient to find out what it is. But once it's been, opened, it can potentially be snatched by other people as well. You can move to one of the other stations to deal with them over there, or do something with their ingredients. Or once you have some ingredients available, you can start cooking. So you have some multiple options here. You can, of course, just go beat up the other contestants if you want.
Well, is any of them like right over Mary? Since basically, would teasing them off of Mary be beneficial at this point?
Yeah, so anybody who's, being teased by you is being forced to spend their time dealing with you, as opposed to cooking, picking up ingredients, disrupting your cooking. So it is a helpful ability, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if Mary's in danger currently, since we don't have our little wonderful 8x8 chessboard down.
So
what about,
it is
what about
impossible
me, actually? You might want to protect me since I'm actually the cook.
So what you're looking at is that, you guys are next to your station. You guys are moving quicker than everybody else is, right? So it's really hard to tell if they're immediately going to try and take from you. You don't even know if this is going to be as physically aggressive as you think it's going to be, right? There's no rules, but that doesn't mean that people can't work together, right? So you're not sure what's going to happen. You might be the one setting the tone for how the competition's going to go.
It might be really smart to tease just the toughest looking guy in the room, or girl in the room, or creature in the room.
I'm going to go ahead. Which team looks like they might have that?
So the king chefs, who are directly across from you, they definitely seem like they are a menacing group of professional chefs.
I don't have a good one for them yet. I'll work that up.
Another option is to just bank your action. That way you can use it on the next turn if you want.
Yeah, but I won't benefit from the chain, and we've got a good chain running right here.
Yeah.
So gamble, I know you can use in a fight. Can you tell me how that works?
Oh my goodness, I certainly can. All right, so if you decide you wanted to use gamble, you can use that instead of rolling your attack dice. And what you'll do is you'll roll your smart dice along with any gamble dice you have. And those replace your strong dice for an attack. And if you're successful, then the spell is successful. And if it's not successful, you lose a tough dice. So it's a really good die to use, like if you aren't very strong or if you've lost a bunch of strong dice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So actually, to answer your question earlier, Alice, gamble is a way for you to use your smart to make attacks.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it is a very risky way.
Of an actual attack. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
So maybe you should have been a gambler, Alice.
Well, I mean, it comes at a pretty heavy cost, right?
Yeah.
If you fail, you're losing something, right?
It was not what I would have taken, but as a freelancer, I was given it. So
Right.
Yeah, you get it for free. Yeah.
It's one of those special dice that comes in very handy in very specific situations.
Yeah, you'll also find that it becomes super useful when you're at like the end of adventures and you've already lost a couple of core dice, right? Somebody's tripped you a couple of times, so you don't even have any strong dice anymore, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. So there's not really a whole lot that I can do other than revealing our thing, which doesn't sound like it's going to have a role to it. So since Mary is over in the middle of the tooth facers, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tease them.
Okay. So you have one of them that's being currently voodoo dolled, and then you have two of them that are yelling at Mary.
Yep. So I'll take one of the ones that's not being voodoo dolled.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to go ahead and tease them. And earlier you did let me use my staff while I was teasing.
Yep.
Yeah. It let it be known that it's you're holding your staff. Right.
Yeah, I've got it between my
So
paws.
until you
So, their name is Pigeon Soup. Those birds stuck on a stoop. Guarantee it has to be it has some pigeon poop. They're gonna lose as a group.
That's fantastic. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm clapping.
Yep, we can hear you clapping.
Oh, and my dice loved it. What is this? 16, 20, 25.
Holy crap.
Oh, I don't know. I did pretty well here, too. Let's see. It's a 10, 16, 18. Oh, I did not make 25, though. Okay. Yeah, I made 21. I was getting there. All right. Yeah, you tease him. He seems personally offended.
He does not put...
Which is
if it's the head chef, that would be the person that I'd most love to be teasing. I don't know if that's who got voodoo dolled or not, though.
No, the one who was voodoo dolled was the one closest to you guys. You tease the head chef, and it's almost like a classic feint where he puts the back of his hand to his head, and he kind of just, oh my god, ow, oh, and he gives you a menacing look, clearly distracted. So it's your turn to pass it off. So how this is going to work is that the teams next to you guys are the ones you're currently sort of engaged with. And if you want to engage with one of the other teams on the other side of the room, the other two teams, that's sort of almost like a separate fight, right?
Okay.
So what you have is the pigeon soup on one side of you, and then on the other side you have squid fairies.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pass it over to those tooth facers.
To
Pigeon
soup. All right. So you've got the...
Quick
Yes.
question. The guy I voodoo dolled on Pigeon Soup, does he count as being on our side for this attack because he is being forced to attack them?
No, he still counts as a monster and would add to the monster chain if his attack is successful.
Okay.
So let's not pass to him.
Right. Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want him to go later so he benefits from the monster chain when he hits his friend.
Exactly. So passing to somebody that is not him, please.
So you've got the sous chef, who is the unaffected one. You've got the head chef, who is currently very angry with your dog, and then you have their busboy, who is being voodoo dolled.
So it sounds like the sous chef who is not being the one that's very angry at the dog.
That seems like a good choice.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go.
Head chef. All right.
Head chef.
So head chef. He gets mad from his chef whites. He pulls out a big fat cleaver and he starts running over to the dog. He is very slow, however, so it takes his entire turn to get over towards the dog.
I see Little Mermaid, Le Poisson, that chef right now with the...
Yes. The head chef throws it over to, I guess his busboy, so the busboy doesn't get any type of chain. And the busboy is going to attack the sous chef. And I'll just sit over here and roll dice against myself. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9.
Or you can always tell me to roll X amount of dice and be the,
that's a great idea. We'll do that next time. But he does hit him. So the busboy walks straight up. And actually, you described this since you're in control of him.
Sure. So, the busboy walks right up and takes the cutting board and just whacks it on the guy's head.
Nice.
The sous chef recoils. He goes, "Ow, Trevor! Why?" And
as bugs start leaking out of him.
Yeah, and Trevor goes, "Dude, I don't know what's going on."
These bugs have a mind of their own in me.
And it is the sous chef's turn. He stumbling a little bit forward, holding what is his burlap face, keeping bugs from falling out. He stumbles over, and let's see, where's Mary? I think he's going to go for try and snatch that the food back from Mary.
Okay.
So
what am I rolling? Is this just defense?
let me look at this really quick and see if I want to do it as just a basic attack or do it snatch wise. I just have to find.
All right.
I should really just keep that.
Let me give you a piece of information. Mary has Daredevil, which is really good against basic attacks, but doesn't do anything against snatch.
Yeah.
So use that as you will.
I think I'm. I think. Yeah, he's definitely going to snatch because that's smart based, and Mary's not going to do well against that. So yeah, he runs up and tries to snatch it back, and I rolled terribly. My God.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow.
And I just rolled my smart dice, so that's fine because I only rolled a 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to roll another die because I'm not using my snatch.
Oh.
Okay, so 11. That's not terrible.
I rolled 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he sneaks up right behind you and he just goes yoink and pulls it out of your hand.
All right, Mary has suddenly realized she's going to have to kill every single one of these people.
But I think we're back up to, or we're over to the squid fairies.
I have a quick question for you.
Yo.
Would me having, instead of a 25, would a 31 have made what I did any better, or does it just count on success versus degree of success? Because I totally forgot the averaging.
In all cases, it's just success.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there's a few mechanics in the game that are degrees of success. That's sort of
mostly tables.
Mostly tables, it looks like.
Yeah, there's tables. A lot of what the Junk Hound does has a degree of success mechanic.
Spells as well, actually.
Yeah, there's some spells that do as well. Yeah, but yeah, otherwise it's just success or failure. Yep. But the squid fairies, they throw open the cover to their ingredient, and it seems to be some sort of greeny vegetable. You're not sure exactly what it is, and the head chef is barking orders to the other two, who are quickly organizing and getting everything together. They're watching you and Pigeon Soup fight very cautiously. And they don't seem like they're immediately willing to join in on the brawl. The same can be said for The other two teams, they're moving along. They are not fighting each other, and instead are just minding their own business at the moment.
Okay.
But we're back up to the top. So, Ella, it is back up to the top of the round with you.
Awesome.
What would you like to do?
Well, what I would like to do at this point is my broom is already, my broom is tilted vertically between my legs at this point, and I'm going to reach into my bag and I'm going to, the ingredient, I'm going to pick up my ingredient under the cloche and all, because I want to lift into the air with it and get started on the cooking. My plan is that I'm going to pull a cauldron, a little small cauldron out of my backpack with a self-heating burner underneath, because it's magic, and I'm going to put it on the front of my broomstick, and I'm going to start cooking up in the air.
Okay, that sounds good. So yeah, when you guys reveal your... are you revealing it, or
Yes.
are you just grabbing the little box that your ingredients is in?
Well, I actually was planning on grabbing the whole cloche and all up with me, and then start cooking by, so people don't really see what ingredient I have. Therefore, they can't plan for it for when they get it later.
That sounds good. All right.
And I'm flying in the air. I'm still in the arena, but I'm in the air.
Yeah, so you're mainly just using your movement to get up there. I want you to roll some fly dice. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and roll tough and fly together.
Okay.
And this is to maintain the physical endurance of making this whole thing go and work and balancing yourself and all that.
Sure. I got 6.
And that's with your broom dice from fly?
Yeah, because I only have 1 tough and I have 1 from broom.
Okay, sounds good. And I got a little bit more. Okay, so what you're going to find is that this is going to be difficult, right, to maintain. So what I'm going to have you do is that at the beginning of your next round, we're going to roll again.
Okay.
And if you... Basically, what we'll do is you're going to be rolling every round. If you fail twice in a row, you're going to drop stuff.
Okay.
Right, 2 rounds in a row.
Right. So I have a question. Is there anything I can do to improve that? Because, my skill as a chef for mise en place allows me to keep an organized space, stuff like that. So is there a way that I can use cook, since I'm actually prepping my materials and such like that, to modify my roll?
I think for now we're just going to use fly.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're basically using cook every roll you're making.
That's totally fair.
So
my fly really
we're going
sucks.
to stick with...
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stick with your fly and your tough. But I'm only rolling the same number of dice you are, so...
Okay.
Something we could do is, in the future rounds, if you wanted to, you could let somebody interrupt you using excuse me.
Uh-huh.
And so you wouldn't have to go first, and then that way we could build an action chain to you.
That sounds great to me. I'd love that.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. That's smart.
So we keep the same initiative from round to round.
The person
Sorry, say that again.
action at the beginning of the fight goes first every round.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So how do we get someone to interrupt me? Because my own side can't interrupt, right?
Actually, that's
no. You can interrupt each other at any time.
That's exactly how that works.
Cool. Then in that case, okay. Well, at this point, I'm going to pass it off to Sassy, because Sassy's about to engage with someone.
Okay.
So the person that literally just grabbed our meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the sous chef.
Yes, I would like to tease them.
Okay.
Nice.
And I don't have a brand new rhyme or anything, so
I
That's
do like
okay.
I do like the capabilities for tactics in this game, like the excuse me, and I like the little bits of tactics that you can add into this game. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, you sort of have to, because I'm going to start using the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And, if I'm using it against you, you're not going to win unless you're using it against me, right?
Yep.
All right,
so I am going to go ahead and tease that person who just grabbed our stuff to try and get them to bring it over to us, basically.
I see your plan. All right. 2, 4, 8.
Pardon me, was coughing. I'm up at 25.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh my
He's very
gosh.
good at teasing.
You were very good at teasing. All right, that's all you. I mean, he is successfully teased. I can't. Even with my 4 dice, that's impossible for me. All right, so
Go ahead.
yeah, you see him. He's getting pretty angry. He's holding on to this slab of meat in both hands, and he looks over at you and sort of spits in your direction.
I will pass it to Mary at that point.
Okay, I can see that the
Excuse me, says the head chef.
No.
Oh, you have like all the brave, don't you?
I do have all the brave.
Oh God, that was a mistake. I should have gone for sassy.
Which does not mean this will work. And in fact, I only got 11.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, I guess that's good enough.
He sheepishly goes, never mind.
Yeah, you. All right, I can see that the sous chef is running toward our kitchen with the meat. I feel like that's well in hand. Am I close enough to get to the squid fairies?
No, you are on the other opposite side of them. So if your cooking station is in the middle, to the left of you, or the pigeon soup, to the right of you is the squid fairies, it's going to take your entire turn to get over to where they are.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move toward their kitchen so I can deal with the next turn, and then I'm going to bank an action.
Okay. So yeah, you make it just basically from where pigeon soup was. You make it a little bit past them, past where your cooking station is, almost to the other one.
Right, and I'm banking my action so I can use that action on a different turn. I am going to choose the squid fairies. Let's see what they're going to do.
The squid fairies will continue with their preparations. We'll have their chef go first. He's just going to roll here to see if he can do his cooking. And he does, so he does 1. I'll tick that off. You see they seem well organized, and their busboy has now split off and is headed towards your guys' station, and he's sort of crossing paths with Mary. And then the other chef stands in front of their head chef, who is currently cooking, and he seems to be guarding him. And then I think, have all of you gone? I think all 3 of you have gone, right?
All 3 of us went, yeah.
All right, so that's going to be pigeon soup then. So the sous chef, starts running at Sassy, who is closer to you guys' station. Yeah, you see he runs over to you. He's going to make it, though, because he's a little bit faster than his buddy. And he's going to slap you with that slab of meat.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Tenderizing it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fight dirty. So that's 2, 4.
Now,
and how do I resist a fight dirty?
Oh, all right. So you're going to roll your tough dice plus your armor dice.
Okay.
And if you have, are you holding your shield?
No, I've got my staff out. Before we had my shield just kind of strapped to me, but now I've got armor, so I'm assuming that's not going to work at this point.
Yeah, from now on, you'll have to choose what item you're holding in your hand. So if you want to use your shield, you'll have to.
Do you need?
Sorry, not your hand.
Do you need the fight dirty skill, or do you need like the trip skill in order to do those maneuvers, or can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those are specifically things you need for. Like, excuse me is one of those special circumstances where you can just do it.
I'm at 27.
Oh.
555s and 2 6s on.
Well, aren't you invulnerable?
Wow.
Spiky pauldrons.
Nice. Yeah, you can hear the slap of the meat against your armor, and it makes sort of a pa-ching sound. And yeah, he seems a little shocked that you were able to block it. He goes, well, at least I'm tenderizing it. And he tries to swing again, but can't do anything to you.
So my question, which will be coming in on next round, is: can I have disarmed him of meat by getting it stuck on my spiky pauldrons when I run?
Disarm is a special thing. It's a special type of attack.
Oh, okay.
But
if any of you have disarm, that would also work to remove somebody from, or to remove an ingredient from someone's possession. I don't know if any of you have it or not.
Nope.
I did not take it. You could try you could try to grab the meat from him, and the fiction of that attack could be that you jam the pauldron in it and drag it away.
Yeah. Mechanically, there's there's no reactive mechanic for being able to do that.
Yeah, I was more looking at the fiction behind it. And...
Totally, the flavor of it. I totally see that. That sounds good. I'm trying to think. I think there's sous chef, head chef,
red chef, blue
head
chef.
Yeah. Head chef doesn't have his food, so both the busboy and the head chef are headed towards your station. You've got the attention of all three of them. They're clearly having to, do what they got to do to stop you.
Awesome.
So I think we're back up to the top. So it would be Ella, unless one of you wants to interrupt her.
Please do.
If you want me to, I can do it.
Do it. Go for it, Mary.
All right, I am going to say excuse me and interrupt you. We do have to roll against each other here. So
can I forfeit that roll because you don't want to roll against me? I'm really crazy good at it.
You're good at brave?
I have 3 brave plus excuse me dice.
You don't use excuse me when you're being excused. You only use it when you're excusing
I have 3
others.
brave.
Yeah.
So
I have 4 brave.
There's a special die called Stubborn that right now only monsters can get that allows you to roll when being excused.
okay. Can I forfeit my roll? Just take auto zeros or
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You got to make it.
Okay.
It is obligatory. I
I
did get
rolled
14.
a 10. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm not near you, but I turn to you and go, excuse me. And I am going to lunge into the middle of the fairy squid kitchen.
Okay.
Toward which one of them has their ingredient?
That's the head chef. He's working with it right now.
All right. And that's the green stuff that we don't know what it is, right?
Yeah, the veggie. You don't know what it is.
I am going to try to grab it away from the chef. So I'm going to lunge in, and then I'm going to make an attack to try to grab it away.
Okay.
And actually,
let me look at what I gave him. He has. Didn't you roll snatch before, or steal or something?
I used the word snatch, but I was just making an attack to grab.
Oh, okay, so you were just making a basic attack. Okay. So he's rolling a huge amount of dice here. Stop rolling. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
All right. Well, looks like you're able to pull it out of his hands. He was in the middle of sort of cleaning and peeling stuff away off of it.
So now
that you're holding it, it's like a head of lettuce or broccoli or something like that.
All right, a gross broccoli. Great. So now that I have it in my hands, I'm going to use my banked action to use my soul charged ability. And soul charge has a few options, but one of them is to disappear. So I'm going to use my bank action to disappear. I'm going to make a hide and sneak roll to vanish from the fight.
All right.
So
let me see who has the best smart for this. Sous chef. Oh, I didn't roll very well. 9.
Oh, dude. 25.
Oh, all right. All
yeah.
right.
So I completely vanish. I don't know if I disappear in a cloud of smoke or if I just duck behind a cabinet somewhere, but I'll get to reappear during the next round anywhere on the board.
You jumped
So,
into a cabinet,
I think I did. I think I jumped like right into a cupboard when no one was looking,
and then you're crawling underneath it now, and
like through the vents.
yep.
Yeah,
Very diehard
Yeah,
of
Soul
you.
Charge.
yeah.
Soul Charge is one part of the Soul Thief's job ability. They have two parts, right?
Yep.
The first part of their job ability is that anytime they would reduce a monster to 0 tough dice, they get to immediately bank an action for free. It just happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Steel Soul ability. And then their other ability, which called Soul Charge, is that anytime they would use a banked action, they get to add something special to it, or use it in a different way, like he did to make himself disappear.
Yeah.
But there's also mechanics like you can use a banked action and you can move with it and attack with it, or you can use a banked action to make an attack that allows you to make a restore roll afterwards. So there's a few different neat little things that a Soul Thief can do with that.
Yeah. All right. So now that I've made a successful action, we have the beginning of an action chain. Which one of you should I choose next?
I would say I should go last in the action chain. We want to try and build it up as much as possible.
All right, Doggy, you're up.
Right.
Excuse me, says that sous chef.
Oh, I hate that sous chef.
All right.
Bam. Oh, hey, look at that. That's a nice.
16, 664.
12, 13, 14, 15. Ah!
Beat us.
So close. All right. It's all you.
So, for when we do damage, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter how much damage we do. It's just that we beat you and you lose 1 tough, or if we're using an alternative attack, you lose 1 of that, right?
Yeah, it's one at a time. There is a couple of special dice that are located on other things that allow you to potentially take 2 tough dice away, but it's very rare.
Gotcha. All right. So I will, since we've got a bunch coming, I'm going to drop my stick. I'm going to go ahead and grab my sword.
Okay.
Actually, I don't need my sword. I'm going to drop my stick, and I'm going to bite this guy.
Okay.
You can drop your stick and pick up your shield and still bite.
I can bite while I have a shield in my mouth?
Because the shield doesn't count as a weapon. Bite just requires you to not be using a weapon.
Oh.
You have a very big mouth, I guess.
I do. I've been told that many times. My character similarly might have a big mouth, but when I was young, I used to get peanut butter and syrup Eggos in my mouth whole.
Holy Jesus.
So I will bite him with the shield, as the saying goes.
All right.
That's 4. I'm going to go ahead and use 1 of my improvised dice.
Okay.
Okay.
I still have 3 improvised dice left. Oh, and I am in an action chain, so let me grab that die.
Now, what do you want to do with that improvised dice? Are you just going to treat it as?
Oh, what are my
just an extra
options?
die,
I
or
thought
do
it
you
was
wanna-
extra dice.
It is, but in addition to that, you can do some clever stuff, right? So, for example, you could say something like, "I want to."
You can say.
I want to use the Witch Hunter's special dice, right to fire, for example, right? So you would say, I'm going to use this improvised dice as the right to fire ability, and then you would make an attack using that effect, right? Or, for example, you could say, if you don't have trip, you could say, I'm going to turn this improvised die into a trip die and make an attack. And so when you're making an attack, you would add an extra die, and it would be a trip attack, right? So it's the idea of giving yourself the ability to use a special die that you don't have or don't have enough of, you want more of, once.
Gotcha. Alice, are you sure you
drop
don't want to go?
Pile those on to be like an extra strong die or an extra armor die if
I'll
you
go.
want.
Yeah. So go ahead and let Alice go, and I'm going to quickly read through my options.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you can look at all the, like, any special dice, like including ones from other jobs you could potentially use.
That's
can
what
also-
I'm looking through.
You can also use it to cast spells.
Yeah. Yep.
If you have a spell scroll or spell book.
Okay, so now I'm going to roll with my chain die, and you're going
Yep.
to roll 2 dice, so hopefully I do better. Hey!
So,
Wow,
hold
that's
on,
actually really good.
wait. So he's banked his action? Is that what happened?
No.
No, he's just decided not to go.
They're
I've
just gonna
chosen
pass it to
Alice's
me
character
instead.
instead.
Yep.
Okay. So we made we made an excuse me roll before, so we're gonna have to make that again.
Okay, sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, I will skip doing the bonus die.
Okay.
I will just go ahead and...
All right. So we're staying with you then.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I will look up when it's not my round. So my dice have betrayed me. It's not terrible, but it's not the all highs that I've been pulling off on them. So I've got 14, 18.
I'm sorry, who are you attacking?
I think it was the sous chef that was beating me with...
Yes, with the... Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you got 18?
18.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, no, you got him. He's not the toughest guy in the world.
Aw.
So yeah, so are you...
Aye.
Were you snatching the meat from him, or were you just attacking him?
I thought that I was just going to attack him.
Well, I guess you can't really snatch it because you don't have a mouth to hold it in if you're holding the shield.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, that's just an attack. All right, he's one tough die down.
No, beating him into submission is just as good.
Is he? He's still there. He's still.
He's
going?
still up and moving. But yeah, you go ahead and hit him. Go ahead and describe how you hurt him.
I dropping my staff, grabbing my shield off my back, I lunge at him to bite him and just batter him with my shield as he's flailing at me with meat. He's going overhanded to smack me. I come in low and just deliver a good shield bash plus bite to his leg.
All right.
And Alice, why don't you go ahead and go?
Okay. I'm gonna balance.
So that was
stuff.
successful.
I'm gonna do some juggling and up here with my cauldron and then my little box that I'm prepping in.
All right, go ahead and make that roll. Oh, I rolled 2.
4 times 4 is 16.
That's right. All right, you're good. You were balancing perfectly up there.
Okay. Thank you for the 2 bonus dice, guys.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that worked out.
So,
all right.
Our side is done, so I guess I will pass it off to one of them. I'm going to pass it off to the sous chef that tried...
Oh, so you still have your action here.
Oh,
I'm just making you do that to make sure you maintain your composure.
Sure.
So you can move around, and you can make a cooking roll.
Okay.
And how it works is that you need to make a successful cooking roll with each ingredients.
Okay,
right?
well, I'm going to make
So you start with one, and then, you combine from there.
Make a cooking roll. Hear all these dice?
Right. So
There's
that
a
you're
lot
smart
of
and
dice.
cooking together? Yeah,
Yep.
you should be able to do this no problem.
Ooh, that is awesome so far. That is, not as good as Brandon's been rolling, but 23.
You got me, but only by 1.
Oh, no.
So yeah, you throw open your ingredient. You see that you have a collection of mushrooms, and you start cleaning them off and getting them ready.
Mm-hmm. And start sauteing.
So now you know that you've got. You see that there's some green veggies, some mushrooms, and some meat, but you don't know what the other 2 ingredients are yet.
Okay, so once I get the mushrooms into my cauldron, I will drop the box. Let the box drop down to the counter below me, and and if the cooking's my action, then I'm done. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep the box for the moment because on my next action, I'll drop it onto a bad guy.
Ah, okay. So I think we're back up.
But I no longer have to balance a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you'd be going again, but I would like to say excuse me.
Oh, okay.
And the sous chef who just got bit and shield bashed is looking for revenge.
All right. Bring it on.
All right. So against Ella here, we got. Not a huge amount. 6.
It's against her.
It's against me. I thought we already
14.
bumped me off the top because Jake's going.
Nope. Okay. Nope, you're permanently at the top.
Okay, cool.
I just replaced that round.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have to do it every round.
Okay.
I was just being sneaky and said excuse me as quickly as possible.
13.
I'm sorry, what'd you get?
13.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Okay.
Yeah, you have really high brave, don't you? That's interesting. Your group has a pretty high brave.
We are brave as hell.
I have 3 smart, 3
Yeah.
brave, one's in the other 2.
Yeah.
Ah.
So at that point, does one of you want to try and excuse me?
We
at
can.
first?
Nope. Only
Oh, okay.
one person can excuse. each.
Okay, so at this point, well, I no longer have to balance anything, which is good.
That is good.
I am going to for the skinning flavor of this, I'm maneuvering my broom a little bit so that I'm over the one of the chefs that's bringing us an ingredient.
Okay.
And I am going to drop the. I'm going to drop the box next to him, but what I'm actually doing is I'm going to voodoo doll him so that he tosses his ingredient up to me.
Oh, okay, with his action. Okay, that sounds good. So roll your voodoo doll.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, that's 12. I got 2 1s, but I got a 6 and a 4, so 12.
Oh, I'm looking at 13 here.
Ooh.
Because it was the sous chef got the meat, and he is smart and he is brave.
Awesome.
You tried on him. This is the second time you've used it on him specifically, and he resisted this time just by a little bit. You can feel he's fighting back just a bit.
My meat. Okay, cool.
And you can feel him pushing back on the voodoo doll as you're trying to move it around.
Okay.
And then who goes next?
Yeah, I'm going to pass it to. I'm going to pass it to Mary because Doggy looks like he's still reading.
Okay, this is good. Check this out. I am going to suddenly reappear right next to you.
Woohoo!
I slip out of the floor or out
next
of
to who? Because I'm in the air.
right under you.
She's up in the
Okay,
sky.
right under me. Cool.
Yeah. All right. I look up, I see you, and I'm going to toss this disgusting broccoli cabbage thing up to you.
Yay! Okay,
Nick,
cool.
do you need to make a roll for that, or does that just happen?
Can he toss it into my cauldron? I can handle it once it's in my cauldron. I'll deal with it then.
Yeah. Can I bullseye it?
I don't know. I'm trying to. I'm trying to decide on whether or not I want to make you do it or not.
I don't think he expected it to have one of the chefs just cook in midair.
Yeah. You like. I mean, the idea being that there is no limit to the height you can go. Right. You just have to stay in the area.
Yep.
The other chefs.
Interesting. Okay.
Not, bringing flying girls.
I know, right? Why don't they have flying things? Interesting. Let's go ahead and say while she's up there, you're going to need to make a roll.
Okay.
Is
this
just
to throw it?
Is this just a throw attack?
You're just making an attack using. Yeah, you're just throwing it.
All right.
It's not going to be very difficult.
All right, this is great. I have 4 strong dice, so I'm strong as hell, and then I have a die from the action chain.
We're playing cooking Quidditch.
We are, aren't we?
I think so.
All right, I'm gonna pull my arm back and toss this thing up as hard as I can right at you.
Okay.
And I got a 16.
Woohoo!
8, 9. Yeah, that succeeds. No problem. Yeah, you get it up there. Yeah, Ella, all of a sudden you see this floating vegetable and then it starts falling down, but you're able to
Catch it in my cauldron.
catch it in the cauldron, no problem.
Cool.
All right.
So and then last but not least, it looks like, unless you're switching over to the...
I feel like since we have an action chain going, I'm going to choose Sassafras.
All right.
I
think excuse me is in order.
Okay.
This time from the bus boy.
And we don't use our action chain bonus for that, right?
Nope.
Oh, you are going to get me.
I hope so. I didn't roll very many dice. It's a 5 and a 3. 8.
8 beats.
What'd you get?
I got 6 total.
Oh, all right. Busboy, who's been...
I know, it's hard to believe based on the numbers that we've been hearing.
Well, it's you guys are especially brave. I guess you might be the weak link here, but I think you have brave too, don't you?
Brave 3.
Yeah, so you're all exceedingly brave. It's very difficult to control. It is difficult to control the flow of a fight against you guys.
We decided to be a very brave group.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, it's certainly a way you can do this because there's other approaches, right? Where you can have a slower group, not as brave, but you're all really tough, or you might have casters in there. So there's definitely some variations, and something like this can be viable, without needing a tank, like a true tank or a healer, right?
Yeah.
Which
You've got the freelancer who can do a little bit of tanking and a little bit of healing. All right, so this busboy is. Let's see what I want to do here. Okay. Busboy pulls out a big cleaver, just like his boss had, and you see him. He's looks like he's aiming with his other hand up into the sky, and he throws it. Right at Ella. See what I get. Oh man.
How do I defend against this one?
That's not terrible. That's a 10. So you're going to be rolling your tough dice and adding any fly dice you have?
Okay. I only have one tough, so this is going to be rough.
Yep. I got a 10 altogether.
You beat me. I've got a 9.
All right. Excellent. So what he does is he's going to disarm you.
Okay.
So basically he's knocking you off of your broom.
Okay.
He hits you. You get hit with like the handle of the cleaver. It smacks you in the head, and you immediately lose your balance, and you start falling off the broom.
Okay.
And we will see if you can maintain how hard you're going to hit the ground. Next round.
Okay. Can my broom?
We'll wait till your turn
Can my
comes
broom?
around.
Can I whistle for my broom and it try and catch me, basically?
Yeah, we're gonna have you do a roll to see how you can save yourself.
Okay.
But we'll do it on your turn.
Sure.
When it comes around. And then since he succeeded and he wants this chain going, he's going to give it to his boss.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me.
All right. I'm sorry, what were you asking?
Am I able to spend that reward die on tough?
No, you can't increase your core dice.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically you're going to be pretty squishy. It would be, maybe getting some armor would help. You could also, if you really wanted to, you could take a shield.
Okay.
But basically basically the witch's biggest weakness is ranged attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Although witch has a very nice special die that actually helps with that.
Oh yeah, you have witch courage, right? Yeah.
What's witch courage? I didn't see it in the book.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
So
one of the witch's special dice choices, I think.
Yep. What witch courage allows you to do is you can re-roll any failed attack or defense roll if you rolled less dice than your opponent. So, for example, if you're rolling 3 dice and your opponent rolls 5 dice and you fail, you get to re-roll it, which might mean you fail again, but you have a higher chance of succeeding by rolling twice.
Yeah,
it's a pretty handy dice to have.
Cool. And I can spend that reward die I got beginning on that.
Exactly.
At the end of the turn, you can spend any reward.
And specifically, it's a solo dice, so you only ever have to buy it once. You don't need multiple ranks of it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Then I will choose that. What's it called?
Which is a good one to have.
Witch's courage. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll write that down. Sorry for that.
Looks like I was seriously tempted by karma.
Yeah, karma's fantastic for a lot of the same reasons.
Yeah, a lot of the jobs that don't necessarily have a higher tough or the capacity to protect themselves through armor often will have something else that saves them, right?
Yeah.
For example, like the black mage gets stuff like Betray Friend, which is a spell that allows you to, direct damage at somebody else. White mage, of course, has all this healing effects, things like that.
If you're looking for just a general special die that's really great for avoiding damage, everybody can take roll. And what roll does is you can add it to your tough dice when you're defending against an attack if you used your action to move this round.
Okay. Oh shoot! I totally did something wrong. But oh well, I'll remember that for my turn.
Oh.
Yeah. He attacked me, therefore I have an option to use something other than tough.
Oh,
You
sure.
could have cried.
I could have cried and told my broom to stay put.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a great time for cry. We'll have to remember that.
Yep.
Oh, God, I wouldn't even have attacked you thinking that.
Because I could have cried for my broom to stay put. Literally, like telling my broom
Yeah,
to stay.
Yeah.
And I would have been forced into attacking somebody else instead.
Mm-hmm. I'll remember that. Huh, my bad.
Yeah, cry is good. You have a nice combination between having tease with one of you and then cry with the other.
Mm-hmm.
You really have a lot of control over what the opponent can and can't attack.
Yeah, the redirection and the voodoo doll
which
also.
Again is
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and these are all really helpful because, again, I mean, even though you're only losing one tough die per attack, you might only have one or two, right?
Yeah.
I liked the fact that I'm really a very good battlefield manipulator between the cry. I was like, let's stack up on that. So I ended up taking the, voodoo doll and stuff that have similar things.
Yeah, that's with that and also good plan, that's a really great combination, especially for a group that doesn't have a healer.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like Witch is in a really good position to be able to do all kinds of weird and interesting, like, support stuff. Unlike a lot of the other jobs.
Yeah. The other day you had asked us if we had a red mage, and really Witch kind of fills that role in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you have references to red mages in the book without actually having explanation, so that's why I was wondering.
Yeah.
And there are monsters running around using red magic all the time. It's just not necessarily a heroic thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
Although that's something we want to get to eventually.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry, where are we in the action chain right now? Or
Excuse me.
Brandon's trying to excuse
we're in that excuse me roll.
I have an 8.
I am... And you, I'm sorry, I don't know if I rolled the right in my dice. You were excusing the head chef.
I thought it was the sous chef that was beating me with meat.
I think he's
But I
gone,
could be mistaken.
Or is he not gone?
No, I know he is not gone because I did not defend.
Oh, yeah, it must be the sous chef. Okay, so he does have the good brave. That's a 2, 5, 11, 12.
Okay,
all right. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna... What should he do here? He needs to get... He's gonna run back to his station and make a cooking roll. Okay. So yeah, he is limping back to his station at this point because you beat the crap out of him, and and he has started his cooking. And he yells at, I think it's the head chef who still hasn't gone. To go.
Yeah, because the busboy disarmed Alice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he yells at the head chef. He's like, "You got to do something, man." And head chef goes next, unless somebody wants to interrupt.
I'll go ahead and say, "Excuse me again." Hey! I'm still trying to go here. I'm trying to go here. I'm at 10 this time.
Well, I'm only at 4, so it's all you.
All right. So, I have run. I don't know. Do I have to take a separate action for that, or do I just normally move further?
You just move.
Yeah. So anytime you would move, you just normally get to move extra spaces. How much run do you have?
I have 1 die of run, just the natural dog
and
run.
So that puts you at, with your brave and run together. What does that put you at?
4.
4. Okay. Yeah. So you can get pretty far here. You're moving right around what Mary's moving as well. You guys are zipping back and forth pretty quickly.
Gotcha. I want to go after that guy that just ran away from me with my meat, and I want to teach him
you
what
can chase him down, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
you can run right over there, no problem, and still have your action.
all right. So I'm going to go ahead and bite at him again.
Oh, this poor guy.
That's our meat. Gimme. I'm going to eat that. Can't you read my apron? 22.
Oh yeah, you definitely get it. He's describe how you kill him.
Oh no!
I'm going to be like, if you take my meat, I'm taking yours. And I'm going to lunge at him. And I'm going to just grab his throat and rip it out in a bloody mess.
Oh.
Yeah, this is these are the toothfacers, right? So yeah, you bite in and you pull out. There's no blood. It's just bugs and
Bugs and
teeth.
maggots.
Ah! Blah! Blah! Blah!
But all the bugs start spilling out, and it just deflates as the bag of whatever it was, the knapsack kind of bag, and it just starts to deflate and deflate as bugs start crawling everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, you see him. He just and the crowd, like part of the crowd goes, and they gasp, and then a second later somebody goes, yeah, and then they all start cheering.
Wow.
The head chef who looks over, he goes, no, my son, my beautiful son.
Oh no!
He's still there. He's still there. Well, most of him. Blah! Not that part.
It's going to take me forever to put him back in that bag.
Nobody puts baby in a bag.
Nobody puts baby in a bag.
So I think we're back to the head chef because he got interrupted.
So for a banked action, since I have one from my coin, my magical coin, would I be able to grab that meat and run?
With it, you could at least grab the meat. Or actually, he's not holding it anymore because he's dead. So with a part of your movement, you can pick it up and then move, yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am going to grab the meat and run, trying to get towards our side, but also kind of keep people away from it.
Sounds good. All right, so yeah, you make your way towards the back half of your station where you've got the busboy's a little distracted right now, missing his shots. Or I guess he did succeed, but he didn't quite knock her off. The head chef is, of course, upset about this, his poor sous chefs. You're able to avoid mostly everyone.
And quick question, did I have to spit my shield out to get the meat?
No. You can, yes. Let me think about this. You're forced
Do I
to
have
hold
the
the
meat
shield.
on a platter?
So here's what I'm going to say. So you can have the meat, but people don't have to roll to take it from you, or you can hold it in your mouth and they have to roll to take it from you.
I'm going to hold it in my mouth.
Okay. So you put your shield back on your back and then holding the meat and dragging it along.
Sounds awesome.
Okay. So I think we're to the head chef now.
I think that's correct.
Head chef, what does he want to do? He's got some options here.
Hopefully he wants to give up and go home with his buggy son.
He's going to take a cue from your guys' book, and he is going to tease the dog.
All right. Am I rolling my smart to resist that?
You are.
Okay. So I'm not using my stick anymore, so that means I'm pretty bad. Is there any specific die that resists being teased?
Not that you have access to. So
with my improvisation or whatever, my 4-core die.
That's a great point.
I don't think so. I think it's a monster only die.
Yeah.
Which means
it is a monster
don't
die, and your improvise does not give you access to monster dice. It's just special dice and core dice.
Gotcha. All right.
You can, however, and this is just as good. You can just add it to smart and have extra smart dice.
Sure. Since there wouldn't be an extra effect that I was looking for, but
right.
I am trying not to run over to the head chef.
So I got 13 here.
Ooh, that's a hard roll. I'm gonna come over to him wagging my tail. What has he said to me?
I think he looks you right in the eye and then he bends down and he just gives you a Come here, boy. Come here, boy. And you just, that instinct hits you, and you can't escape it.
Okay. There we go. So on my round, I'll run up to him and try and bite his face off.
I think, yeah, we're back up
I can't get away from
to
it.
the top of the round.
Okay, that's me.
Okay. Yeah, you see all the other chefs are moving along. You're keeping pace for the most part, but
I need to.
it's hard to tell.
I need to cry.
So you need to balance yourself here.
Well, I need to. Okay, I need to balance myself. I thought I need the broom to come catch me again. So I'm gonna cry for my broom to come catch me.
Let's see. Let me think how I want you to roll this. I think this should be. This needs to be a tough and fly roll, is what it needs to be. Yeah. I'm rolling this.
I got 10.
8. Well, I'm sorry. What'd you get?
10.
Oh, well, all right. So yeah, you're able to catch yourself. How do you stop yourself from smashing your head into the ground?
So I summon my broom to me, and my broom comes underneath me, does kind of like a cartwheel underneath me, and then flies right underneath, and I grab on, and I quickly cap the cauldron so that the stuff doesn't spill out.
Super nice.
All right. So yeah, what are you going to do with your turn? You got the rest of it to do something.
Well, did somebody want to say excuse me, or did we want me to keep going?
Let me go ahead and do that. Excuse me.
Okay, let's see if I
15?
got 11.
All right, it sounds like I made it.
Awesome.
So I am going to. Sassafras still has the meat, right?
I do still have the meat.
Yep.
All right. I am going to, since you're heading toward the chef, I am going to try to move to you and pry the meat out of your mouth. All right.
Cool. I won't specifically resist my team taking it from me.
Okay. Nick, can I take an action beyond that, or is that what I got?
You want to run over to him and
receive
take the meat from him.
Yes. I'm in full perception mode here. That sounds filthy, but that's not what I mean.
I think you can still take an action here. I think this is all just movement because he's willing to give it to you.
Okay. In that case, I am going to, as I did before, I'm going to turn back. I'm going to turn back toward my friend and try to throw the meat up to her and get it into the.
Open the cap for you to pop it in.
All right, so you want to chuck it again?
Yep, the same as before.
Cool.
Same roll.
All right, I'm only rolling 4 dice this time. Ooh, this is not looking good. Oh, okay, that's
8,
65.
All right, you got it.
Bam! I'm feeling today.
Flying through the air, it slaps the top of the lid as you open it, and then falls right in. And it's good to go, so you can start your cooking on it soon.
All right. Which one of you wants to be up next?
Well, I've got 2. So I have a question. Is there like any sort of split action? Because I've got 2 ingredients that I need to cook now.
You can only you have to do one roll at a time.
Okay. Cool.
Right. It's just action is one roll. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I can go next.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna let Brandon go because, yeah. Brandon, why don't you?
Sassafras.
I'm going to attack this guy's face.
You're gonna go after the head chef. Like I guess you have to, right?
That is exactly correct.
Right.
So.
All right.
I've got my strong. I can grab my my sword. I don't need my sword. I bite. Well, he hasn't gone yet. My sword will at least give me, so I don't get vulnerable.
It's true.
Since I've lost my shield, I've lost my meat. I'm just leaving stuff everywhere. That is 12, 16, 20.
Oh, I lost a die. Where'd that go? There'd that go? Come back here. Right.
You did. It's called a tough die. With my mouth.
Yeah, you got him. That's one. One down. Describe that hit.
I come in with tail wagging, and at the last moment lunge onto him, still tail wagging and happy as I can, biting down onto his arm that's got the cleaver as he yowls in pain, and a few little buggies fall out from his sack.
Nice.
Yeah, he cries out. You hear him goes, "Oh, this wasn't my plan."
I didn't think
And he
this through.
All right.
I will go ahead and pass
who's
it
up next?
to Ella,
Okay.
my
Ella.
ever loving master.
Okay.
Yeah, these
love
poor
you,
guys
Sassy.
can't. Now that the
Oh.
sous chef's dead.
So two things. One, I'm going to cook, but since I've got so many bonus dice, what I'm going to do is while I'm cooking, I'm going to throw down some scraps to Sassy. Because I
Sure,
love my
yeah,
Sassy.
totally.
Uh,
Yeah, you should be able to make this roll, no problem.
Yeah, I've got 8 dice for this roll on a cook.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought a lot of cooking.
I don't think.
Oh,
I mean, I got a 9. So unless you roll all ones.
I broke 30 and I'm still counting.
Hey!
I rolled 3 6s and 3 5s.
Jeez. Yeah, everybody in the crowd can start smelling what you're cooking there, and everybody's just very excited.
That was awesome.
Do you smell what Ella is cooking?
Yeah.
Right? And an arena and everything.
Okay, I did well.
Is that even a reference that those kids could appreciate?
Probably
They're too
not.
young.
Who
I
has
bet
an
their
agree-
parents say that all the time.
So I'm gonna pass it off to that sous chef that tried to knock me off my broom, and I'm gonna.
It's true.
Sous chef is dead.
Oh.
But yeah, I was beating Sassy. and
Alice,
scraps.
that was the bus boy that tried to knock you off your broom.
Oh sure.
But
Yeah.
but yes, the parents around the house do ask it all the time. They're like, "Do you smell what I'm cooking?" I'm like, "Wait, cooking? Food? Yes, I'll smell that."
So I'll pass it to the bus boy that tried to knock me off.
All right. Busboy sees what's happening to his boss and goes to punch the dog in the back of the head.
Oh,
Let's see if
that's
he
the
can do
mistake
it.
because Sassy, I just fed Sassy. Sassy's now really hyper. I'm tossing scraps.
So I got
to the
7. He doesn't have a weapon anymore because he threw it.
Okay, 14, 17.
No, all right, yeah, that's a block. Yeah, he comes to hit you, and he hits like your sword or your staff or something, and you can hear him just ow. Yeah, these guys are they're clearly not fighters.
Well, too bad for them, I guess.
If we didn't have Mary, we
and
might
then
have tried
he-
to do the let's share the ingredients and have an honest fight here kind of thing. But we had
Right.
Mary, and Mary's been like, I need to kill something all game.
Mary didn't kill any of them, though. That was me.
Yeah, in my defense, I haven't actually attacked any of them yet.
That's true.
I'm just taking their stuff.
That's true. But I'm letting Mary go hog wild here. It's fun.
Well, that's right. Mary is really looking for an excuse to just stab someone. Although, actually, she's having a lot of fun. This is kind of what Mary really likes. It's a very aggressive game where she gets to
without
put
the guilt.
everybody around.
Yeah, and without the guilt afterwards. You
Right,
know,
yeah.
Because you stabbing people is like people eating junk food. You enjoy it in the moment, then you feel guilty and terrible afterwards.
Right. I mean, Mary probably is going to want to do this every year. So,
All right. Come back to the festival.
yeah. Or maybe just open a restaurant.
Oh,
Maybe.
gosh.
I know exactly what restaurants are like.
Yeah, where people show up and you fight them, and then whoever wins gets.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that what Gordon Ramsay's job is?
I think so. Yeah. All right, so we got the head chef
Hell's
left.
Kitchen,
Who else?
right? That's what the Hell's Kitchen show's about. isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. So, have any of you not gone yet this round?
We've all gone.
So it's just head chef. All right, head chef is going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and tease Ella.
Okay, this is versus my
That's the
smart.
plan. Yep.
Okay.
So he yells out to you. He says, "Get down from there and cook like a real chef." And let's see what he's got here.
I am a real chef.
Well, 15, 16. I'll take it.
You beat me. I'm 11.
Yeah.
So
So
how
yeah,
does
he
tease
he
work on?
teases you. So tease works just so next round when you take an action, you have to take it doing something against him,
Okay, cool beans.
right? Whether that's moving into range to melee attack him or voodoo dolling him, or if you have tease, you could tease him back. Okay. It could just be a teasing back and forth permanently. Yeah. So anything that is.
Does he have any food on him? Has he cooked anything?
Does he have any food?
Yeah.
He doesn't have any ingredients, but he might have food on him.
Okay, cool. Has he been cooking actively?
No, he's been fighting us.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have kept him from cooking.
Cool.
I don't think they've cooked at all. The other team has cooked once, and then you took their food, and they haven't gotten it back yet.
And I had
and then the other two teams across from you have seemed to have been. They've cooked, traded ingredients, cooked again, and are on their way to negotiate with the squid fairies. It looks like.
Negotiate.
I mean,
negotiate.
If we can negotiate with both of them, we'll be the only people that have all 5 ingredients.
Yep.
Which probably means they just want to beat us up and take our ingredients.
Well, our ingredients are up in the air for that reason. It's a bit more protected.
I guess we're just going to have to beat them all up and take their stuff.
How are we doing on time here?
Time flies when you're in these cooking competitions, you know.
It really does.
Right. So yeah, you guys are about halfway through it, if not a little bit more.
Oh dear. Okay.
It has been an event. Yeah.
This is fun.
All right. I think if we rush, I think if one of us rushes toward one team and one of us rushes toward the other, maybe we can tie this up really quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's back up to the top of the round, so it's
Ella's turn.
It's Ella. So unless somebody interrupts here.
Yes, please. I would like to interrupt you.
Sure.
If you
not happening unless you roll all. Yeah, I don't think it's happening.
I only got 11.
I got 17.
Oh, geez, quit rolling so well.
All right, so you got to make that concentration to keep yourself balanced and sturdy.
This is where it all falls apart.
Well, I mean, like I said, we're rolling the same amount of dice, so she should be okay. I rolled a 2 and a 1. So
I got a 6 and a 3 this time, so I got 9.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. Then I am going to. I have to voodoo doll the guy, so I'm going to voodoo doll him to go and get me another ingredient.
Okay.
If you want me to go down there and cook, maybe you should bring me something to cook with.
All right.
So, voodoo doll him.
6, 7, 9.
15.
All right. So yeah, you can feel it sinks in and it grips him, and you're definitely in control of him. So on his turn. Yeah. So do you have any movement you want to do, or are you just staying up in the air?
I'm just staying up in the air. I'll bank the movement.
All right. So you want to what?
Actually, you can't bank movement.
Okay, cool.
Only action.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can only
cool.
bank your action.
Yeah, I'll just stay.
So who goes next?
Actually, I do want to move. I'm going to move so that I am near but above Sassy. That way, Sassy can toss stuff to me. Or
I don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
The meat was passed to you.
Yeah, Mary's generally the one passing me stuff, so I want to be above Mary so that Mary can always be tossing me stuff. So I'll keep myself moving near her. And I will pass things to Mary at that point.
Okay.
All right.
Mary is going to...
So, I have a quick question.
Yes.
One of the guys from, I think it's the Squid Fairies, is the other one that's really on our map, was moving towards our kitchen. What happened with that guy?
He can't do anything. He's just standing next to your kitchen trying to figure out how to get your witch out of the air.
Wait, where's the food? Oh, it's all up there.
And he doesn't seem to be particularly threatening. He's sort of just standing there bewildered.
Yeah. I think the fact that we're all heavily armed is really discouraging people from like throwing rocks at you or something.
Speak for yourself. All I've got is a broom, and I've got a hidden dagger somewhere. I'm not armed with any real weapon. Well, actually, I've got a hammer on me, but
I have spiky pauldrons that give me a +1 scare.
I've got a hammer that I don't really use.
Yeah, I think that's enough. I think that sends a message.
Oh, I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
So in the first game, I got a fire hat scroll. Does that refresh use at the beginning of a new session, or is it just a permanent one shot, or what? How does that?
Oh yeah, that old spell book is just you use it a couple times and then it's useless.
Well, I only used it once, so I didn't know how many charges.
I mean, I guess if you have like one use of it left.
Okay, cool. I have one use of it left.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
And it's yeah. Yep. I'm trying to think of how we designed that for Mermaid Hunters, because it's one of those things of like normally, you wouldn't even be able to use spells until rank 1 anyway. Mm-hmm. So it was sort of just here's a little,
bonus.
Yeah. So normally how spells work,
a little
single use item.
Okay.
However, for Mermaid Hunters, the spell scrolls we hand out there, we want players to be able to use them again and again to get a feel of how that works.
Oh, okay.
So the ones in Mermaid Hunters are special spell scrolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I still have one shot of this very special scroll in case. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So
I will dash into enemy territory. Who are the 2 teams left? The Kingsmen?
Oh, so you got King Chefs and Tut. You don't know what it stands for, but it looks like TUT. Tut.
Oh, Tut. Okay.
Those are the teams across the way, and then to the right of your station is the Squid Fairies, who are and then you've got the Pigeon Soup is just they're just a mess. They are completely destroyed, basically.
Wait. Is TUT like the crying
emoji?
Yeah, thank you. That's what.
It looks just like that.
All right, great. I am charging right at them, and I assume I'm not close enough to get to them, even if I double move, right?
No, I mean you'll get close, but you'll take your whole action to be running across the arena.
I'm going to move, and then I'm going to bank my action.
Are you running at them like I'm about to murder you, or hey, I'd like to negotiate?
I am running at them, but my weapons are sheathed.
Okay.
So they can interpret that however they like.
All right, sure. Okay.
My intent is not to murder. My intent is just to steal.
Okay.
But if they want to make a deal,
all right.
Anyway, Sassafras, you are up. And I'm sorry I broke.
Oh, okay. It happens. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to cross the battlefield, and just to taunt the chef, even though I'm not going to use the tease action, I have my rhyme. So as I run across the field, I'm going to call out after him. Chef that is the head should have stayed in bed, because now his son is dead. I was the one to behead.
Oh!
God.
Oh my gosh!
Your words are really cutting more than my knives.
That poor guy.
I would like to bank my action, it sounds like.
Brandon,
Okay.
that character of yours reminds me of that bard that I played in 4E right now.
So you're running over there too.
I'm gonna run to the other side. It's really Jake and Nick's fault, because they made the guardian action into a teasing action. So they did this, not me. I'm helpless in this situation.
Yeah, it just reminds me of that bard that I was playing with the cutting words and saying all these same things. Yeah, it's fun.
Nice. All right, so I think it would be the head chef, who is currently under Voodoo Doll, and then there's the bus boy who's standing there frustratedly trying to figure out what he's supposed to do.
I was tempted to go attack him.
Yeah. That is always an option.
Since I'm moving, can I just move over to where my stick is and grab that?
Yeah, you can collect anything that you've lost in the area here.
Awesome. So I'm gonna go grab my stick and then just try and continue on. But that way I can start taking some of them.
And you get bank your action.
So you guys are going to sort of enter into the other side of the arena.
Yeah, I think we can bring that fight zone.
All right. So are you choosing head chef for the pigeon soup or the busboy for pigeon soup?
Let's let the busboy go ahead and go.
All right. Busboy. Let's see. What do I want him to do? Did I give him 2 knives or 1 knife? He got 1. Okay. You're flying. You can't do anything. I guess he's going to go run after. He's going to go run after Mary. Yep. Yeah. You see him. He sort of like shrugs a bit and then runs after Mary. And then head chef. What is head chef doing?
Head chef, I ordered him to. Well, I said, if you want me to go down there and cook, maybe you should bring me something to cook with.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, he goes running after Sassy then.
Sassy has nothing to cook with right now.
Yeah, but they're both headed towards the other chef.
Okay.
Yeah, to the other side.
Yep. Cool.
They're headed towards where their ingredients are.
Awesome.
So yeah, okay. So it looks like that's everybody. You're all just taking off to the other side of the arena.
Sounds good.
Except for Ella, who is sort of floating.
No, I am because I've been
somewhere
like I said, staying
close towards the middle.
No, I've been staying close to where Mary. I move where Mary.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So you're coming over with them.
Yep.
Okay. So we're back up to the top.
Okay.
Now you're in the zone that has the other 2.
Someone want to interrupt me?
It's got.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Interrupt. Oh no.
14.
14.
Okay. Who wins? Because we're both.
I think as the interrupter, I win the
Good.
round
You
as
win.
the aggressor.
There you go. Take it.
Thank you. I am going to. What are the crying emoji team's meat ingredient? What are they doing with their ingredient?
Oh, so Tut seems to have some sort of purple apples.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah, and they're cutting it up, and they look like they're baking them.
All right. I'm not even gonna try to steal it all. I am just going to jump into their area, swipe a handful of them. End of story.
Okay. So go ahead and make a roll, as they are not necessarily just, sitting by. They are in your way.
Sure. What should I do here? Just a general attack?
Yeah. We're just doing the general attack.
Okay.
They are currently in possession of the ingredient, so you're taking it from them like we had before.
All right. Is fighting dirty going to help?
7, 8. No,
Is there another
unless
way
your
to
goal
fight?
is to fight dirty.
Okay. Let's see.
And specifically when I say that, I mean using the mechanical effect.
Yes. Yeah, I got you. 19 is my
19? All right, yeah, you got him. You
right.
snatch the apple.
I grab a handful of apple, and just like before, I'm going to use my bank action to disappear. This time I backflip over the counter and hide behind the counter.
Okay. So these guys, let's see who has the best smart here.
Well, I've got to make a hide and sneak roll for that, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find who has the best roll against you. This guy does. All right.
That's not as good as I would have hoped. 20. Well, it's still pretty good. 21.
All right, I got 17. You're good.
All right. I completely vanish out of sight. Nobody can see me. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, the chef that was standing there kind of goes, what? And then he looks over at the other 2, and they just are like, I don't know.
I don't think that was
okay.
So I think I just got part of them. Because you were describing how they were baking with some of them already.
Yeah, they've already clearly used their own ingredient.
Sure.
But that was what was left of it. Yeah. Okay, so who's next?
All right, Witchy Witch, I choose you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to continue voodooing. Actually, no, I've got one more item I can cook in my thing right now. So let's get that cooked up. Actually, no, I'm going to voodoo doll. Since I've got the bonus die right now, I'm going to voodoo doll that same chef to bring me another ingredient.
I'm sorry, which chef?
The same chef that wants me to come down, the chef that I had voodoo dolled before, I'm going to keep that voodoo doll going on him.
Oh, okay. So that was that's Pigeon Soup's head chef. Okay.
Yep. So I tell him I want him to bring me another ingredient. So using that bonus die. That is 17.
9. Oh, yeah. He's under your control.
Okay. So, yep, he's going to keep going and bring me another ingredient.
All right. Who's next then?
I'm going to pass it to Sassy.
Nasty.
All right, so they she went and got it from Tut. So is it the King's chefs are the ones that are left
Yep.
that we haven't taken stuff
Yep,
from?
yep. King Chef's is the only one that left. They look like they have slabs of bacon.
And my movement is to get near Mary, so that closer to Mary, so she can toss it into my cauldron much easier on the food.
She's
Mary
disappeared.
can be
You have
anywhere
no
on
idea
her
where
next
she is.
action.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will get... Okay.
Yeah, she vanished. I mean, you can kind of go where she was.
Yeah, I'm going to go...
But at this point, basically, yeah, she's disappeared. And she's going to be able to, like, reappear next to you anyway.
Okay, cool.
You've seen her do this before.
Yep, true. So I'll just keep with my original trajectory. Sounds good.
She'll sometimes show up like in your bedroom in the middle of the night and scream at you and freak you out. And then just vanish.
Jake, I'm guessing that he does this to you, Mr. Brother of his.
Oh, we actually have a niece that does that.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
So who is next?
I am going to head over there, and I just have to ask because I think that it would be so funny. Can I beg them to give me some of their ingredient?
If you want to beg, you totally can. That's absolutely fine. As you go onto the side of the field, you realize that there is no blood or insect guts. There is no disorganization. They are clearly have negotiated between the two teams. They are, they're willing to deal with this in a way that doesn't have to result in violence.
Awesome. Beg it is.
So yeah, go ahead and throw that bag down. Let's see what it looks like. I got not a huge amount, but that's not terrible.
All right, you guys hear me now?
12, 13. Yeah.
Oh, you are. Cool.
Yep.
My headset made a reboot noise, and so I was like, wait, what? What's going on?
Oh,
So yeah, I want to go over there, and I want to go ahead and give them the big, bright brown puppy dog eyes as I beg for them. I'm like, is it possible for you to share? Bacon's so delicious, and I'm just a little young dog that would love some bacon.
All right, so yeah, roll that bag. I am sitting at 11.
Okay, that is 1521.
All right. Yeah, you see this guy. He is gingerly working. He seems very relaxed. It's an older guy. He's got a cheetah head, and he kind of looks over at you, giving him the puppy dog eyes, and he goes, I mean, we're probably gonna win anyway. So, and he cuts off a slab for you, and tosses it in your mouth.
All right, I'm gonna take my banked action to run that back over to Ella.
Yeah, and, as soon as you turn around and start running, you kind of look back and you see that maybe he's a little nervous and that wasn't the right decision.
He's like, wait, what did I do?
Maybe that was a mistake. But yeah, okay, so here, banked action.
Yep, I'm going to use that banked action to run it back over to Ella.
Oh yeah, she's not too far away. You want to go ahead and make that roll to throw the ingredients in?
Sure. How do we make those?
So it's like an attack, right? So you're gonna be rolling your strong.
Gotcha. And I did drop my stick there, as I like to leave my toys everywhere.
You can go ahead and use your bite with this, since you're biting onto it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So strong and bite.
Oh, I have a die that went rogue. Random 9, 13, 14.
Nice. All right, yeah, again, the ingredients flies up, gets into the cauldron, no problem.
Awesome.
And as I throw it, do you know what I say?
What?
I say, fetch!
This is why I feed Sassy Scraps.
All right.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
So I think we're done with you guys. So, okay. So what you have now is you have...
I have 4 of 5 ingredients inside my cauldron.
You do. We have the head chef left for the fairy squids. We have the busboy left for the fairy squids. And then we have Team Tut and Team King Chef.
Okay.
So who do you want to go next?
Brandon, it's your choice.
I'll go ahead and pass it to the people that I just begged off of. So I think that's the King Chef.
All right. They're in the middle of their organization. Let's make a roll here. Okay. So yeah, you see that they pull off the lid of their cooking pot, and you see that they've created this stew with all the ingredients, and they are so close to being done.
But they don't have several ingredients though.
Yes, they're missing. They're missing 2 things. They're missing 2 things.
Okay.
Because somehow they've gotten themselves some of these leafy vegetables.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
So they're cooking along, doing their thing. Tut is, now that you've taken the rest of their apples, one of them comes out from behind the counter, and he's brandishing a rolling pin, and he waves it at the dog, and he says, what happened to your stupid salty friend? And he wants to... You know what? He's gonna throw his rolling pin.
Oh, no.
That's what he's gonna do.
At who?
And at you.
At me. I'm
the
gonna
witch.
cry. You're gonna pick on a little girl? That's so mean.
Yeah, we'll see if he can make this happen here. So yeah, Cry uses smart or brave? I can't remember. Is it smart?
Yep. I use my smart
cool.
to defend. So.
All right, and add your Cry to it.
Yep.
And I will roll his attack, which isn't great because he's throwing it.
13.
Oh, so close. All right, he's gonna have to hit somebody else then. He goes to.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what?
I was going to say specifically hit the closest friend.
Yes. Which is going to be the dog. He goes to swing it, and he sees you up there crying. He goes, wait, don't cry. You guys stupid dog. And he looks over at the dog and swings. All right, hit the dog.
Thank loot tables for spiky pauldrons.
Yeah. Oh, that's not terrible. I'll take a 14.
I've got an 18. 6, 4, 1, 3, 1.
There is a noticeable power increase from our original characters to the leveled up version of the characters.
Yeah, it's a huge...
Yeah, of course. When you hit rank 1, there is definitely a level up of power there. And also, these monsters aren't necessarily designed to fight.
Uh-huh.
They have... each of them,
like
instead of having
a cooking competition.
Yeah. So instead of having lots of dice and dirty fighting and disarming and snatching and all this stuff, they have a lot of cooking and and some more smart dice than normal.
I have a lot of cooking.
Yes. They're on par with your cooking skills,
Awesome.
think
but
they
clearly
made-
not with your combat competence.
I think they made a mistake of bringing Smart to a brave fight.
Apparently.
All right, so who's up next?
Let's see. That was those two, and then head chef who is still voodoo dolled.
Oh,
So what do you want him to do?
I want him to procure me another ingredient, the last ingredient we don't have.
actually,
No, we've got them all. You just haven't gotten the
Yeah,
the apple yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still would be on the apple, though he would be working on the apples.
Just go make him go in swinging at that group.
Oh wait, which one was almost done? Was it the apple group or was it the bacon group?
King chef,
Bacon.
which is the bacon group, is almost
Okay.
done.
He'd be going after the king. He'd be
Okay.
going after the bacon group.
You have them disrupt and be in their way.
Yep.
Right, that sounds good. Yeah, he runs over. He basically just does a running tackle into the chef, who's at the at the stirring the pot, and they're sort of fighting back and forth. You see them scratching at each other and beating each other up. He's busy with that. I think. Gosh, is that everybody except the busboy?
Oh, that's awesome.
Busboy, what is busboy gonna do?
I don't know if Tut did anything.
Yes. Tut is the one that came after you guys and ended up trying to attack you. Yeah, that was their goal. This busboy here, gosh, he has disarm, but he doesn't have a ranged attack anymore. The busboy asked the witch very nicely if she'd come down from there so he can punch her in the face.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm just a baby, and getting punched in the face might hurt, and I might not have the nose that I like anymore. I've got
Can
a
he
nice
throw
nose.
Gonna have to.
Can he throw like a pan? or
Yeah, I
something?
mean, he's just gonna have to deal with it, and with the fact that you're gonna get those fly dice. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna
he's
cry.
gonna.
You're really gonna hit a poor little baby.
So yeah, he's gonna go for that disarm again, so he gets another die.
Okay.
I think next year there's going to be an age limit on this competition.
Right.
I got a 13.
All right, he got a 15.
Okay,
Um,
he's still gonna hit the baby. Cool.
Yeah, he's already like mid jump when he realizes you're crying,
Uh-huh.
and when he grabs a hold of your broom and tries to shake you off of it. And again, you're going to be at a place where you're going to need to
Sure
make a
thing.
roll, or otherwise you're going to fall on
That's
your head next round.
That's right.
But I think we're back up to the top, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, let me roll.
Excuse me.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
9. Ooh, nice. 17.
411, that's 6.
Nice. All right. I am going to appear right under you.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Ta-da!
In a cloud of smoke that comes out of the oven I was hiding in, and I am going to toss up what was I even holding? Apple slices.
Apples. Green, purple apples.
Yeah, to try to land them right into your pot.
Sounds good.
And Nick, I am rolling for that.
Yeah, let me.
That is 5 plus 8. That's only 13.
5, 11. I can't remember if I rolled 3 or 2 dice before. Let me look.
You were rolling 3.
Yeah, I was. I need to roll another die.
Crap.
Yeah, I beat you. So yeah, apple slices go up, but as this is happening, Ella is having trouble maintaining her balance, so it just doesn't quite get in.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, I like that wasn't my fault. It ended up being your fault. All right, well, I
It's
failed.
a team effort here, and
It
if
is,
both
it
of you
is.
aren't participating, it's not going to work.
I'm trying.
All right.
I'm trying.
Sassafras.
Also, you're dealing with the fact that it was so hot in that oven, you can't think straight.
That's true. You should never get in an oven. Should have learned that from Fairy
You're like,
Tale.
oh, this is a great hiding spot, and then a few seconds later, oh, this is the worst idea ever.
I'm not a very smart child. I'm a very dumb
You're
child.
the reason that there was the G.I. Joe Don't Hide in the Fridge service announcement.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. We were all kids and we all wanted to get into the fridge so bad, right?
Yep.
All right, especially during summer.
Yeah. All right, Sassafras, you're up.
Yeah.
All right. What happened to the purple apple?
I think
So they are still up in the air, are about to hit the ground.
Is one of Team Tut? Do they have the apples on a tray, or any of them have hands on the apple?
The apple that they've used, they've already added into whatever their dish is. There's probably some apples still there that are, just like the same thing that that Mary took. She just took a handful of them from their supply.
Gotcha. I would like to take my action to basically try and save the apple at this point from hitting the ground.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Dog slobber is better than dust.
So yeah, if you have, I'm trying to think of something that would be good. I mean, what would be a good special dice that you could use for this? What special dice do you have? You find if anything applies.
I have hungry. I have looter. I have beg. All those involve flying food at some time or other. But I also have gamble.
Oh, this is definitely a gamble.
I know, but going with the smart. Well, I guess unless I'm going with brave, my smart's as good as anything.
Okay. How about... So if these apples hit the ground, they'll still be good, but it'll take you a time to pick them back up, right? Because they'll be scattered. So here's my proposal. I will let you add hungry to this roll. Okay. If you succeed, you get the apples. If you fail, you eat all the apples, and you have to get new ones.
I love this plan. It works with me both ways. I will, however, trying to resist. I'm going to go and use my second of my special dice to just add on to that roll.
Totally. All right, so let's do it.
Not a great roll. I'm at floating at an 11, so I'm glad I used one extra die.
6, 10, 11. I'm at 11 too. I'm sorry, you had 11, right? So
yes.
Woo! I think we're done.
Best freelancing dog ever.
So yeah, you see these baked apples coming down. You get that lick of your lips, thinking, "Oh, this is going to be delicious," and then that voice in the back of your head says, "No, we have responsibilities," and you have that internal conversation for a second before you can pull through and really get those apples.
So you guys know the picture of the dog that's got like 8 tennis balls in his mouth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's my mouth at the moment with apples.
It's the single most heroic thing that's happened in this game.
See, I even have a name for our dish already, too.
I do, too.
Do you want to reveal it as it's prepared?
I was going to do it when it's plated.
Sounds good. Oh my gosh, what's our time here? Oh, it's up 4:19. All right. So let's push forward here. So let's see who's next.
I will go ahead and pass it to the nice man that gave me bacon. And in the chat, I just put a picture of the way that my dog currently looks.
Just in case you don't remember, our witch friend has not gone yet this turn.
Oh, then yes, I will pass it over to Ella.
Okay, great. I now have
all right,
bonus
so
dice on staying
with all
on
those
my...
successful action.
Yep. I'm going to stay on my broom this time. Hey!
Extra dice. Oh. I rolled 11 again.
I rolled a 13.
All right.
That was barely. I got worried there. Thanks again for the bonus dice, guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That bonus die wore off at that point, right? Or is it? Or do I get it for my entire action?
You keep it for your entire action.
Okay.
Yeah, you're keeping them.
Cool. Then I am going to. I shook this guy off. I'm going to go lift up higher into the air. I don't have the 5th ingredient yet, right?
No.
Okay.
No, they're in my mouth.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. What I would like to do at this point is do a drive-by, grabbing it from his mouth, and then just basically flying away from everybody else. Is that possible?
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can trade from a willing participant, no problem. That's just part of your movement.
Okay.
Do you want to spend your entire move moving back, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I want to spend my entire move, since I'll have all 5 ingredients. I want to get basically as far away while staying in the arena, get as far away from everyone as possible. So, out of shooting range, out of stuff. And then my action will be to do a cook.
Okay. So you can move far enough away that without taking an action here, if you want to take your action to move more, you can move far enough away that nobody could attack you next round. If you move and then take an action to cook, then I think the guy who is near you might be able to take an action against you, but nobody else would.
Okay. I just want to get, basically as high as I can, so making it hard to hit for him to
Sure, totally. Okay, so go ahead and make your cooking roll.
Oh, I did not roll very well. I got a lot of 1s this time.
I'm only rolling few dice for this.
I got a lot of 1s, so that's 15. That is 19.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. These cooking challenges aren't particularly difficult.
Yeah, I actually meant 20.
You apparently made the character that was designed to play the adventure.
I know, right?
Yeah, or at least where we got sidelined too.
Yep, that's awesome. It was great. I love it. Okay, so was that my 3rd ingredient that I just cooked challenge, or 4th?
That was your 4th, I believe.
Okay, so then I need to do one more. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll need to do one more, and then I'll reveal the name of the food, the dish.
All right. So who's next then?
Next, our team's all gone, so I guess I will pass it to the guy that wants to try and hurt me. That's way below me.
Oh yeah, the busboy.
Yep.
His attempts to disarm you have only kind of worked, and let's see, what does he want to do?
Go get a different ingredient?
He's gonna run over to the dog and attack it. He says, if we're not gonna win, I'm gonna kill your dog.
No,
and then he runs over to attack the dog.
Oh no. What a jerk.
Let's see here. That's not terrible. The 13?
14, 17.
No. Too much defense.
Apparently so. Those spiky pauldrons were
awesome.
Super. When I rolled the armor up, I looked through and I was like, "Those look too good to turn down."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice for you.
Brandon's been a good tank. The little dog's been a great tank.
Yeah, this guy either needs to continue to disarm so he gets extra dice, or I should have given him another weapon is what it is, because he threw the first one. So he needs another. All right. So yeah, he attempts to try and grab you around your neck, but the spiky pauldrons prevent him, and he can't quite get the grip he wants. Let's see. We got Tut. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, both of these guys are just gonna cook because they need to make more cooking rolls.
But they don't have mushrooms.
And
I took all of them with me.
the king chefs, you hear them arguing amongst each other, and then two of them run out from behind their counter and start running towards where Ella is.
Mushroom.
So yeah, two of them are now much closer to Ella, but can't quite reach her yet. And I think we're back up to the top.
Okay.
Did Tut take an action?
Yeah, they cooked is what they did.
Cool.
I'm going to take my final
the king chefs came after you. Excuse me, says the king chefs. We'll come up to you.
I meant to do
Gosh, one of them has, what does he have? Oh, that's not a lot of brave. 4, 5, 6, 7.
I have an 11.
9. Oh, not a great roll.
11 is what I got.
What'd you get? Ah, okay, you beat him.
Okay. I was like, that was not a great roll. I expected you to beat me. Okay, I'm going to do my last cook. That is 23.
I can't beat that on 3 dice. So okay, yeah. So you finish up. You get the last ingredient in. It
Okay.
cooks together perfectly. And as soon as you finish, the ghostly chef says, "And we have done. We have a winner."
And the name of the
And
the name of my dish is Miami Go Stew, as in MY apostrophe UMMY space GHO apostrophe stew. Yummy, mummy, ghost stew, ghost stew.
That was worth the wait.
Yummy, ghost stew.
Wow.
Darn it! I was really wanting to get a couple more of my taunts off.
I mean, we can
Totally.
stick around and murder all these people. That seems mean.
We're no longer protected by law, apparently, that everything goes in the challenge.
That's a good point.
So,
Once everything's settled down, everybody's done clapping. They collect all the dishes, and then the dishes are then judged by a panel of judges. And of course, nobody else was done, right? So yeah, the judges go through, and of course they say how terrible the fairy squids did, or the squid fairies did, because they basically did nothing. Same with pigeon soup. They were in the same boat. Tut and King chefs were able to do pretty well with the time they had and the ingredients they had, but at the end of the day, you made the perfect dish. And you guys win the competition. The ghostly chef sort of hovers this big statue over to you guys, or not statue, but a trophy over to you guys, and puts it in front of you. It's filled with the coins that were all put in by the different teams.
awesome.
So congratulations. Feel free to keep the aprons, of course.
Thank
All right.
you. I love my I hug Sassy. Thank you for protecting me, Sassy and Mary. You two are the best.
We make a good team. We should open a food cart.
Is this what cooking's like all the time? Because I love this. This was the best.
This is definitely what cooking should be like.
Oh my god.
The members of Pigeon Soup, you can see the two of them huddled over the other. They're shoving bugs back in and sewing them up, and you can see them talking. They're like, "Now remember, what happens when we deal with this?" And the kid's like, "Well, I have to get an adult to sew me back together." And the other ones are like, "That's right, little one. You got to be careful, right?" And they put him back together, and he seems to be okay.
Can I go over to them and offer them my first aid kit? I don't even know if that would help. But
they look at it and they go, "That's nice, but we have to use a certain type of string for this." But thank you, Soul Thief.
I mean, I didn't. What? But I'm sorry he got all ripped up. That sucks.
I'm actually going to go and help because I have the skill voodoo dolls, so I have some experience working with dolls and sewing and such, so I'm going to go offering my skill.
I similarly am willing to give a paw or mouth onto the project. I'm like, hey, it was nothing personal. It was we were told to come in here and to kill everybody that opposed us and cook. Those two things. But first was we were supposed to kill everybody, and I only almost killed one. So I think we're doing really well.
I'd also like to point out that they didn't see me attack anybody.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it was mainly your dog went on a rampage.
Yeah.
What happened? Just like someone, yeah.
I attacked no one. So, yeah, I'm going to offer my sewing hand to help.
the toothpasters take your help. They appreciate it, and they talk about how this was their first year too, and they weren't expecting it to be, such a stiff competition, and they should have they should remember to bring more bladed objects next time, or possibly explosives.
All is fair in love and cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, bring guns.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, awesome. Well, we're hitting about 4:30 here, so I think that's a good place for us to wrap up.
Awesome.
But thank you guys so much again.
So
just I know we're not being asked for rolls or anything, but I still have 2 of my specific dice to add on to trying to sew that guy back together. So
okay.
Well, I have
go ahead and make
6
a roll
dice if I get to use my stick at the same time.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Roll it.
Roll, you lose the dice.
Lost one over the edge, but
aid?
so 16, 20, 25. What's our last one? 28.
Ooh.
Oh, I mean, you're definitely restoring for him.
Yeah.
If we treat it as if you were using first aid on him, you definitely restore some dice.
Yeah, that would be. That would be 3 core dice.
Wow, that's nice.
Awesome. You bring him back up to full because he had to lose a couple to die. I think he lost 2. Yeah, he lost 2 tough. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you sew him back up, and you just using your teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just
and holding.
perfectly articulate.
I'm picturing his 2 paws on the ground like this, holding.
I'm holding him down with the stick and such, and pulling the string through with my teeth and all.
I feel like you do a great job. You even stitch a little outline of a dog into the stitching as you're fixing them up.
Oh wow, that's what people want.
It's like a
Gotta
tattoo.
give them what they want.
All right, so
it's a segment.
Is this the end of our adventure?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. So at the end of every adventure, what we get is, because we successfully completed the adventure, each of us would get a reward die.
Awesome.
And we would be able to, once the adventure wrapped up, we would be able to choose to either save that reward die to spend later, or to immediately spend it on either a special die or a roll on the treasure table.
Yeah. And the difficulty of this adventure, it was an easy adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can have more difficult adventures, you can have less difficult adventures. It just totally depends on how the group's feeling. Casual experiences like this are perfect for stuff like, cooking competitions and, just messing around town, where a more difficult experience is, dungeon crawling and, fighting lots of monsters and that kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's really fun, and I had a blast, guys. Thank you very much for running. And I wrote down my reward die in case it ever matters. I have my character saved.
Okay, totally.
And so, since I have looter, is that affecting on reward dice, or is that loot dice that you get from beating monsters up?
Either one. So if you choose to spend your reward dice to roll on the treasure table, then you could use looter for that. Otherwise, anytime you would need to roll on the treasure table, otherwise, being in cases of you kill a monster, it drops treasure, it would work there too.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. Thank you all for watching BWK. Please don't forget to subscribe, and and make sure you check out their Kickstarter coming September 1st. Bye.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.